rephrase that. You got two gentlemen. Got one ain't earned it yet, has he?
You don't need to wear a ball cap, man. You need to let those golden locks flow.
It's
Hey, we welcome you into a What's Your Beef Wednesday edition of the Morning Rush, live from Radio Row in Dallas, Texas. Tommy, I think both of our beefs are the fact that I'm not kidding, y'all, are directly in front of the sun each morning. Luckily, it's dark here at 6:01 here this Wednesday, but that has to be a beef of our highest priority, considering the sun, what would you say, for about 2.5 hours of the show is directly in our view.
It's starting to break the horizon just a touch, but by 6:30 it will be up, and by 7 o'clock it will be blinding. I think there's 40 some odd radio stations along Radio Row, and some have their back to that window, some are down past these windows. I think we are in, just because of where the sun aligns right now with this hotel, this week of the year, we are in the absolute bullseye of this thing. We are in the worst table location you could possibly get.
And yet you and I have both been lazy for the first 3 days and not gone and fetched our sunglasses, which are not too far in the car.
Well, you know what we could do? We could quit being idiots and not sit on this side of the table, sit on the other side of the table.
That would take maneuvering and working. And
what maneuvering would it take?
I'd have to move my chair over there. And turn the equipment around. It's just, I'd rather just complain about it all day.
All right. Well, that's a good beef here. What's Your Beef Wednesday? Brought to you by Richard's Country Meat Market. Go to richardscountrymeatmarket.com or stop in for your favorite cut this weekend with Richards in Fayetteville. No other meat market is in the same league with Richards when it comes to selection, quality, and value. Again, that's richardscountrymeatmarket.com, our place that we always go before grilling in Fayetteville.
You know, another beef of mine. I was on the bus last night going to the media event. I was talking with Wally Hall about this. No, coaches don't say anything anymore. Like, I was hoping for some stuff from Lane Kiffin. Didn't really get it, understandably, based on Monty Kiffin passing away this weekend. Hoping for some stuff with Eli Drinkwitz. He joked a little bit with Dennis Dodd about being on his hot seat board last year. I think we can tie that into Pitman a little bit this morning, but didn't really get anything. Brent Venables gets asked about horns down. Here's what he says.
I don't really have an opinion. Football is a game of emotion and intensity and passion, and if they say that's going to be a penalty, then don't do it. If they say it's a free-for-all, then have at it. Whatever rules that they have in place, we'll follow those.
You're the Oklahoma head coach, and I get he was very guarded. This is his first media days. I think at times he was a little taken aback by a question or two that was asked of him yesterday. But again, a beef is like, no, everyone's afraid to offend anyone. Like Spurrier, I guess when you think about icons, Steve Spurrier, when it comes when talking, is the best that's come through the SEC. Not the best coach. That belongs to Nick Saban, who's on set, who's going to be on set not too far from us. But it's just a bummer that no one says anything all week long.
Because what's the rule? If you talk trash, you got to what?
Back it up.
You got to back it up.
Yep.
Is there a tougher league to back it up in?
That's a good point.
Because everybody, what do you kids say now? We keep receipts on these things. Everything's out there in the ether forever.
Yep.
So you say something a little bit, even if it's sarcastic, even if it's like trash talking with your buddies, it always comes. Your batting percentage on that stuff is not very good. Spurrier could say that back then because it didn't always follow him for decades.
Yeah.
People didn't put that on a meme or put that on a, what do you call it? Is it a Vine or whatever? A loop of a video.
TikTok.
TikTok. Yeah. You say stuff and your own words haunt you. So I understand why these guys are cautious. We've done it to them.
Well, I will give Billy Bowman an Oklahoma defensive player credit. I thought of anything that was said yesterday, he had the take that I really enjoyed listening. I think you will too.
It shouldn't be a penalty anyways. Everybody has a hand signal. If you let a hand signal affect you and affect the game, maybe you shouldn't be there. So allowing us to throw the horns down, that's cool and all. But if it can't be a part of the game, then it's pretty soft.
If you let a hand signal affect you and affect the game, then you shouldn't be there. Again, best quote of any player, any coach yesterday came from that guy right there. And listen, I'm not going to make a habit of getting credit to Oklahoma players of any caliber, football, basketball, and baseball, But that stood out to me yesterday.
Well,
and I was happy he said it. Happy he let his opinion be known about horns down.
All right, horns down should be like waving hello. I mean, that just should be the new standard in this league. Hey, brought to you by Farm Credit. If you're looking for the right financing right now to remodel your home, your current home, or build maybe a brand new one, Farm Credit's there and ready to help you. It's easier than ever when you stop by one of their Farm Credit locations. There's 25 of them around our state, and let the experts guide you from start to finish. Or you can log on at myaglender.com to see all the financing options that Farm Credit offers. Farm Credit of Western Arkansas, making dreams come true for more than 100 years. Now, to be clear, horns down is not in and of itself a penalty in the Southeastern Conference. We were talking with John McDade yesterday afternoon. He stopped by, and we just were chatting. He is the supervisor of officials in the SEC, and that was one question we had posed is, in the Big 12, they let Texas have their way with certain things. In this league, unless you're right up in your opponent's face and you're doing something that would be unsporting or inflammatory to the situation, horns down is just going to be another part of the game, part of the emotion. So
we've talked a lot about that in our officiating group since I've taken over in the 2020 season. And to be unsportsmanlike conduct, I'm asking my officials to use a framework of judgment where the act to be a foul needs to be in one of three buckets. It needs to be taunting an opponent, it needs to be a travesty of the game, or it needs to otherwise compromise our ability to manage the game.
That's now he's a Harvard guy, right, if I remember that correctly. He's an Ivy Leaguer of some sort, but it was a very, I thought, Ivy League-esque answer. And, yeah, you're right. Like, if you're going to the sideline, you're going to your own fans and doing it. If you do it to an opposing coach or opposing player, you're going to get flagged. And he made a good point, and I was like, okay, this makes sense. Like, the game, like, if you go, like, if Arkansas – like Florida Chop, they could do it after the game because the game was over. But like in the midst of the game, if you go up to Billy Napier last year, you did it to another player, Graham Mertz, their quarterback or something, you would have gotten flagged. And it's the exact same thing. Yeah. So it makes sense.
That's a great comparison. Are we going to outlaw the Gator Chomp?
No,
so different.
You just do it again. You do it to your sideline, your players, and
it's kind of like end zone celebrations. Celebrate with your team.
Yeah.
Don't make it about you. Don't taunt the opponent. So, I mean, horns down, everyone. I mean, again, Texas is the most hated fan base in college athletics because they pull crap like this. Now they're not going to get away with it in this league, but they've built a dynasty more or less on that. So, not going to happen in this league. They're not going to rule this roost, and that's one of our beefs this morning. All right, Radio Row, that's where we're at. Dallas, Texas, brought to you by the Stadium Shop, WT Equipment, and by the Limbird Real Estate Group. Coming up Friday, we'll do our Fence Man Friday picks, brought to you by Sean and the team at the Fence Man. If you need anything involving a fence, gate, or perimeter project around your home or business, our buddies at the Fence Man can handle it for you. 782-3936 is their number. 479-782-3936. Custom projects, no problem. Wood, vinyl, chain link, wrought iron, custom ornamental, they do it all. 782-3936. The Fence Man, he ain't afraid of no work.
We'll get into All-Star Update and talk Hogs next.
ESPN Arkansas is kicking off college football live from Radio Row in Dallas, Texas at SEC Media Days. Our shows provide insight on player and coach interviews, including special moments throughout the entire week. Make sure to tune in to the Morning Rush, Halftime, and Ruskin and Zach to get this unique coverage presented by the Stadium Shop on Razorback, WT Equipment, and Limbird Real Estate Group.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Hey, this is Taylor Green, Arkansas quarterback, and you're listening to the Morning Rush.
Hi, everybody. Larry Rath here for Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center with the exciting news. Backed by popular demand, state sales tax paid when you trade on our huge inventory of road-ready certified vehicles. That's right. This month, get the best used car your money can buy, road-ready certified with warranty, and get your state sales tax paid when you trade. One more reason all the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath. Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, just north of Phoenix on Towson, Fort Smith.
Where can you get good neighbor service and surprisingly great insurance rates? At State Farm, because State Farm agent Heath Roberts is your one-stop shop in the River Valley for the service you deserve at the price you want. So stop looking around. State Farm agent Heath Roberts is ready to help. Call 479-452-4088 for your surprisingly great rates today. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Individual premiums will vary by customer. All applicants subject to State Farm underwriting requirements.
Hot summer soon gives way to fall hunting season. And with the new Arkansas Early Bow Hunt, now is the time to get your new Hoyt Alpha X or the Carbon RX-8 dialed in. Check out the new Lift compounds from Matthews, the bow that puts aluminum in a new light. Sub 4 pounds and shooting 348 feet per second. Jelco Outdoors, your full-line archery store in the River Valley. Get ready for fall bow hunting at Jelco Outdoors, 4600 South Zero in Fort Smith.
Top CDL Academy is a licensed Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration that provides the federal required training to obtain both Class A and Class B CDL licenses. Our program provides assistance with employment after graduation. We have finance and grant options available. Students straight out of class have started new careers earning $70,000 to $140,000 per year, and training is provided for all 50 states. Call today, 479-632-1050. COP CDL Academy.
Calling all biscuit lovers. Hardee's limited edition blueberry biscuits are the stuff of biscuit dreams. Our famous buttermilk biscuits with summer's favorite berries baked in, served warm, and drizzled with icing. Don't miss your chance to try this special summertime treat while blueberry biscuits are still in season and ripe for the picking. Only at Hardee's. Goodness in the making. Order ahead on the Hardee's app. Participation may vary. Exclusions apply by time of day.
This is Daryl Johnston with Hashtag Managed IT Services. We are excited to now be part of AAA Business Systems. Hashtag will continue to handle every IT need your business will have, and now, as part of AAA Business Systems, we can handle all of your document printing and storage solutions. Together, we have the expertise to meet all of your office technology needs. Find us online at aaabm.com or call us at 471-1771.
If you knew all that Jody's Auto Service Centers can do for your vehicle and you'd never take your vehicle anywhere else.
My fleet is small, 14 trucks and cars. It's a struggle every day with parts, employees, and scheduling, but one thing I never worry about is vehicles. Jody's has special fleet pricing, special in and out service, or free shuttle and pickup and delivery service. And they do everything, service, repair, and maintenance. That makes my life much easier. All my vehicles go to Jody's.
Latest technology and highly trained technicians means we could do it all. From the most highly technical repairs to everyday oil change specials, tires, everything, even diesels. Jody'sAuto.com schedule free shuttle service or pickup and delivery. Get a tire quote, get financing. Jody's Auto Service Centers, voted best of the best by our customers year after year. We're your neighbor since 1984 with 3 full-service locations in Fort Smith and Van Buren. See for yourself at JODYSauto.com.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Your presence is honor enough. Yeah. That's plenty, believe me.
Across the 50.
All your favorite podcasts in one place. The Hit That Line Podcast Network. Just search Hit That Line wherever you listen to podcasts.
All right, so we're live at Radio Row at SEC Media Days, and one of the events last night was the All-Star Game at Globe Life. And while we didn't go to that, we watched it at one of the media events. It was awesome. I was sitting next to one of my friends who is from Pittsburgh, like our guy Phil Elson, and he was living in the moment with Paul Skeens, one of the few rookies that have ever started an All-Star game. We'll talk about his performance and what happened last night coming up in just a sec.
Brought to you by Riley Farm Dental. At the entrance to Riley Farms, they provide every type of dental care and procedure for you and your family. General dentistry, braces, cosmetics. They got a wonderful team there. Dr. Sparkman, Bo is such a great guy, makes it a wonderful experience every time. Dr. Davis and Dr. Farmer always give their patients a better life and a better smile, more comfortable and confident when you leave the dentist office. And if you need a crown, they now offer same-day crown service there at Riley Farm Dental. 479-226-3500 for an appointment, 226-3500, or online at rileyfarmdental.com.
So the AL wins 5-3. Skeens throws 16 pitches, 11 of them strikes, gets Aaron Judge into a ground out to end the inning. And
hang on. And that was the matchup everyone wanted to see, and it ended with one pitch. Because he chopped that one to third on the first pitch to Judge, and everybody was hoping that would be, some kind of epic at bat. But that was the matchup people wanted to see, was Judge and Skeens, and man, it was over before it started.
Oh yeah, I forgot I'm supposed to give this you. I got you. I know how much you love the Cotton Bowl, so I got you a Cotton Bowl koozie.
There you
I
go.
Pulled that out of my pocket. Yeah, but to me, isn't that just a boost to how good Skeens is? That I know Judge was probably jacked up to hit against him, but I mean, this kid is unfreaking believable. And
I wonder who was the previous batter before Judge? I forget now. But that ball four was inside. I'm wondering if it was deliberately inside because he wanted to face Judge.
It's like
I don't know.
It's like when Ricky Vaughn was like, "I'll walk him. I want Parkman." He's like, "You want to go against Aaron Judge? I want Judge."
Yeah.
So maybe the entertainment, like Chuck always points out, the entertainment value, which he's spot on, and it was entertaining last night.
Yeah.
Now I guess the only bummer about last night is the most entertaining aspect of last night was the first inning. You did have a Shohei bomb last night. Man, that guy is good. But I would say
by the mid innings, the scoring was over.
Yeah, and it ended up 5-3,
and that was after 5 innings. It was 5-3.
Yeah, so it did drop off. The level of interest dropped off, but you don't want to pitch Skeens or anyone else for that matter too much. But I mean, I watched every. I told Phil asked me yesterday, "Are you going to watch the All-Star game?" It's like, no, I'm going to go to the media event and do whatever. But then I saw how excited everyone was to watch Skeens, and I immediately locked in. I got into peer pressure. I locked in and watched it.
I mean, he threw a couple off-speed pitches at 98, but 16. But other than that, I mean, he was peppering 100-mile-an-hour fastballs up there. His girlfriend got on TV a couple times in his one inning, so that was a plus for everybody. But, it is a What's Your Beef Wednesday brought to you by Richard's Country Meat Market. Here's my beef. Those were the worst-looking All-Star uniforms I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, they were bad.
Those were 1980-ish San Diego Padres bad. I mean, those were awful. I didn't care for the All-Star uniforms either side. I thought that was a horrible display.
I would agree wholeheartedly. They got on screen, and I'm seeing not just the players, but the coaches as well.
Travel ball has better looking uniforms than that. They were terrible.
I'm just like cringing, watching. It's like, man, this is the best you could do.
Anyone else agree? Text 877-377-6963. That's one of my beefs. I thought last night the uniforms did not have a big league look to it at all.
Christian, you're a baseball guy. What did you think of last night?
Man, Skeens is incredible. I mean, I know there was a moment where he struck out Aaron Judge. That was pretty cool, but I didn't watch the whole thing. The All-Star game, to me, is it's kind of lost some of its luster.
Oh, yeah, no question.
He didn't strike Judge out. He got him to ground out to third on a single pitch.
I thought I read something where he struck
it was a first pitch chopper to third.
Yeah.
It was they got to force out at second into the
and I think it's a collective thing, Big C. I mean, it's not just the baseball All-Star game. I mean, I used to make it an appointment to watch the Pro Bowl, the NBA All-Star game. I mean, like in the 80s and 90s, you think about some of the great players that played in the NBA back then, how competitive they used to be. Baseball, it's drifted a little bit as well. It's just not. I think it's really hard to not just convince players, but convince owners, managers, GMs, any coach that, hey, it's good for your best players, some of your best players to participate because they're more apprehensive about injuries and everything than ever.
I can't believe you did that to Big C. But even in the he didn't watch the All-Star game last night. He was playing NCAA 25, man.
Yeah.
That's the bigger update.
He didn't see 1 second of it. Did you even be honest? Did you even watch a second of it?
No.
No, you were playing NCAA.
How many hours of NCAA 24 did you play?
I played
yesterday.
a couple hours, just trying to get a feel for it right now. I'm doing okay, but Zach responded to my challenge, so I've got to.
I heard about
nice.
this.
Let's
I
go.
may have been one that helped fan the flame a little bit.
Yeah, you did, but it happened, and it's going to happen.
You have to
You have to beat him.
You
I
realize
don't back down in video games.
Dixie, you realize you have the challenge of not only holding up the reputation of this show, but the midday show as well.
I know.
Your
I've
entire
got a ton of weight on my shoulders.
Yeah,
but I can
2
live.
shows against one
Right.
show. And
well, it's really an entire generation against the, against the senior division of the sport.
He doesn't think I can beat him with Arkansas. So I think he's going to be Penn State. So I may have to contemplate my team a little
Take
bit.
Georgia. I don't know anything about anything on this stuff, but take Georgia.
I would take maybe Ohio State with
Pull a fast one on him at the end.
Quinshon Judkins and that defense as well. That would be the.
I don't know. I mean, wouldn't
Bama,
Georgia
maybe?
have wouldn't Georgia have the roster with the highest player ratings?
Yeah,
I would assume.
But I don't think I have to get the best team to beat him.
Oh,
I love it.
I hope he's listening.
But
at
I do think I have to get a good team. I agree with that.
Well-
Alabama, maybe. I like mobile quarterbacks.
Milroe
Taylor Green,
is that.
man. Yeah, Taylor Green, I'm telling you.
Again, Green's top 10.
Can we just play the season on there? Can we just play, forego the games and we'll just play the 24 season out online?
Well, people have already played like Oklahoma State and Auburn and some of the other teams, and they're like, "Oh, well, we won the game, so that means we're going to win this season."
Well, I think you got a good chance to beat Orange because at his age, when you get in your mid 50s, hand-eye coordination and just reaction time, response time's just it's not going to be as on par with you. So I like your odds, Big C. Hey, in Dallas here, All-Star game was last night, but how'd you like to come back later on this year for a Cowboys game when they play the Eagles? Tomorrow will be your first chance to qualify for the football trip of a lifetime with Hardee's and ESPN Arkansas. We're giving away a great trip to see the Cowboys and the Eagles in November. If you can eat a Monster Burger in 150 seconds or less, you automatically qualify for the finals. Qualifying begin tomorrow at 11 at the Phoenix Avenue location in Fort Smith. So join Big C there. He's going to try to tackle this. This is our 19th year to give away the football trip of a lifetime with Hardee's, ESPN Arkansas, and hitthatline.com.
We'll talk to Laura Rutledge coming up on the Morning Rush.
Shop local, eat local, be local.
This is former Razorback Kanoy Kennedy, and you're listening to The Morning Rush.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Nothing says summer fun like fishing with a Thill Bobber with the family. America's favorite floats by Thill are available in a variety of sizes and colors. These premium balsa wood floats are made by the thousands at Pradco in Fort Smith, Arkansas. They are great at detecting the slightest bites by fish and work great in tandem with crickets and redworms. Available at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, LureNet.com, and tackle shops everywhere. America's favorite floats by Thill.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
That's my hero. I want to be when I grow up.
This is the Morning Rush.
Riley Farm Dental at the entrance to Riley Farms provides every type of dental care and procedure for you and your family, from general dentistry, braces, implants, and cosmetics. Dr. Sparkman, Davis, and Farmer give all of their patients better lives with a better smile.
This video is powered by the pros at Pascal Air Plumbing and Electric. Arkansas owned, Arkansas operated. GoPascal.com.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
It's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
BetOnline is your number one source for all your sports betting needs this season. From baseball, golf, soccer, right to all the top fights in UFC, MMA, and boxing. Every stat, every matchup, and even live odds and spreads while the games are being played. When the game's over, head over to our online casino and get in on a game of blackjack or poker or unwind with one of our over 150 slots games. Head to the website today to get in on the action. Use promo code BELIEVE for your 50% free bet credit on your first deposit up to $250. Bet online. The game starts here.
This song hit number 2 without one guitar. Gary Wright traveled with George Harrison to India for spiritual enlightenment and wrote Dream Weaver, describing God as infinite love and compassion, seeing him through the trials of the night. Of the 330 million gods of Hinduism, not one will get you to the morning light, but only through the blood of Jesus Christ. Satan is a master deceiver, weaving many into make-believers. I'm Pastor Heath from Woodland. Think about it.
Hey, ESPN 96.3 and hitthatline.com. Have you been to Swark Liquor? Trey Gentry and his team have a phenomenal spot. It's the first liquor stop in Arkansas for our Dallas and Texas fans traveling up to the hill. So if you're heading to Fayetteville, the lake, a cabin weekend, hunting, fishing, or any other activity you need your favorite drink, stop by Swark Liquor. And check out their apparel too. You'll want to wear it. Swark Liquor, 864 East Collin Ray Drive in Queen, Arkansas. Swark Liquor, we promise to keep them cold for you.
This video is powered by the pros at Pascal Air Plumbing and Electric. Arkansas owned, Arkansas operated. GoPascal.com.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
It's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a...
I'm feeling good, guys. The give is to Alex Collins straight up the middle. And Collins on the run. They won't catch him. Alex Collins is going to take it all the way to the house. Touchdown, Arkansas. 80 yards.
Subscribe to the Bud Light Morning Rush podcast. Go to hitthatline.com or search Hit That Line wherever you listen to podcasts. Don't forget to rate, review, and share.
All right, back here, Radio Row SEC Media Days. Really appreciate the Stadium Shop on Razorback, Lindbergh Real Estate Team, and WT Equipment for our coverage all week long. We go to Laura Rutledge now, SEC Network, ESPN analyst. And, Laura, I'll just come out of the gate. Arkansas is not going to get the national publicity. You guys won't spend as many segments on them this week for obvious reasons. What are your initial impressions of Sam Pitman? And I guess we're 44 days out from Arkansas football this fall.
You know, anybody who has ever listened to anything I've ever said, I love Sam Pitman. And I've been pretty upfront about that. Now, what I don't love is when Arkansas football isn't as good as it should be. And as good as it should be, I think they should be a contender to win the SEC every single year. And to me, that's the tough part is you're seeing a program that has so much history, so much greatness to it, not be at the level that it should be. I think it's possible, especially in today's world of NIL and how you can grab players, how you can grab anybody that you need, right? They need to be doing all of that. And I feel like this is it, right? We're going to know whether or not it actually happens with Coach Pitman this year. The pressure's on. He has never shied away from that, right? But at some point, it's do or die right now for Arkansas. And I hope for him that he can find a way to have enough success to keep going there. But I also hope for Arkansas fans that more success comes in the future, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I walked in the big main room here at Media Days yesterday and turned the corner, headed over there to find an audio connection, and bam, there's y'all stage. And Nick Saban's sitting next to you, which I still got to remind myself he's not coaching, and he's part of us now. He's part of the media. What is it like to and how did y'all make the adjustment bringing him into part of your crew?
It's been fascinating, guys. I mean, as somebody who covered him for all these years, and we've all seen him in the coaching role, right? I was pretty familiar with how he is, and I really enjoyed him. You know, I know there are some people who are like, oh, you know, he's scary.
Yeah.
I've never felt that from him. I always felt he was just an interesting person to talk to. To see his level of prep for this, he watched every single team's entire spring game, didn't miss a snap. He talked to every single coach before he came here. Imagine if you're one of these coaches in the SEC, like, hey guys, Nick Saban's calling me to, you know, check in from the media perspective. It's all unique and different, but I think what he's brought over these last couple days, it's been fascinating, is really an inside look into how coaches think about all of this, but not only just coaches, the best coach to ever do it. It's been really fun to sit next to him and learn some of how he views the game, and he hasn't shied away from giving some good opinions and, you know, being critical and being positive here and there. He picked Georgia and Texas to compete for the SEC championship.
Way
which
out
means,
on the limb.
Well, yeah, but you know what that meant? Wasn't like he was trying to say it was Alabama.
Yeah.
You know, he said Alabama could contend, but he didn't have them right up there at the top. So I think he's been really fun and honest and very prepared. I've been impressed by that.
Because we've been working, I haven't gotten to watch the coverage and listen, but what I have found kind of an interesting dynamic is here's the GOAT in the back of the room watching Brian Kelly, watching Kirby Smart earlier today, and they, you know, that to me would add a level of pressure if I'm one of these coaches up there and, in the back of the room is Nick Saban. And, you know, if his body language isn't good, it means I'm probably not doing very good.
Well, it's funny because he's been sitting there and taking notes on everything that they say, but like in a positive way. And I thought the same thing. I thought, golly, I wouldn't want to be, you know, standing up there and trying to speak to the media with Nick Saban watching me. But Kirby even said that today. He said, you know, I didn't know if you were back here judging me, but he's been very supportive of what the coaches have said, and I think he wants, at the top, he wants this to be a successful year for the SEC overall.
Laura, I don't think Coach Saban's ever going to say this, but from what you've gathered from the different coaches that have appeared thus far, is there almost a sigh of relief that he's next to you rather than up on that stage and they don't have to compete against him on a Saturday?
I even sensed that when I went to the SEC meetings in Destin, you know, back in May. You can feel a changing of the guard, and there's the Kirby Smarts and even the Steve Sarkisians of the world who feel like they're sort of ushering in this new era, even though they're connected to Saban in so many ways, but it's their time, right? There is a sigh of relief in a lot of ways. I think it feels like, okay, you don't have to think at all times, I've got this mastermind who maybe I used to coach for, who knows everything about all my tendencies. You know, how many times do we throw up the numbers of, well, here's the record of Saban's former assistants against him. That's no longer a thing, right? And I think it has opened up a whole new world. I should have mentioned Lane Kiffin at Ole Miss, too. I mean, somebody who, at this point, that team on paper, which he's the transfer portal king, looks really complete. Looks like there's not many holes there. They're a team that, you know, in the past, if you're always thinking about, okay, Saban at Alabama, it just, that dominated so much of the league. That's no longer going to be the conversation. I'm not saying Alabama's not going to be good, because I do think they will be, but it's not Saban's Alabama.
Your career has reached the level you do work with the NFL and NFL Live. You're obviously here covering college football. You're a mom. You're a wife. How do you find time for it all to do the prep to be ready for each and every assignment?
Oh, man, my brain is like scrambled eggs. What I found is that anytime I'm trying to do prep or something, I just have to sit down and just grind it out. Like I can't, I need to commit to it right in that moment. And sometimes that may literally be like, I got to go in my closet and the kids are going to be with dad for a minute and I'll be back in a few minutes once I've gone through, Arkansas schedule. Exactly, right. But no, I've had to accept, because I'm sort of a person that wants everything to be at the highest of high levels. I want no stone unturned when it comes to prep on both sides and all the different roles that I feel very fortunate to have. I've had to accept that there's going to be some that I'm not going to be able to complete, and it's just the phase of life that I'm in. And at some point, the kids are going to be a little older, and I'm not going to be chasing the 1-year-old around while he's literally wreaking havoc all over the house. And, the 4-year-old wants to do this and that. That phase of life will be gone, and I'll miss it. So I'm trying to just live in it and breathe in it as much as I possibly can.
Well, Laura, we'll let you go. We found out next year is going to be in Atlanta, Georgia. Last year was in Nashville. I've got one of my best friends that lives around. We have a lot of places we go, and one of those places is always Sprouts. It's literally right next door to his house.
I love that. We love Sprouts. They're the official grocer of the SEC. One of the coolest things about Sprouts right now, guys, is their support of women's athletics, and that's really why they wanted to partner with the league. They care about women's sports. They want to invest in these women who are giving so much of themselves to the SEC and to their universities. And you know this because you're always going to Sprouts, but the healthy options are great. So we just talked about being a mom. I'm always looking for something that's healthy but also tastes good, and that's what Sprouts has. They have all the varieties of snacks and things like that, but you can get these great wraps. Their sushi's really good. Anything you need, Sprouts has the variety of that. And once again, just really special that they care about women the way that they do.
Well, Laura, we'll leave it there again. Laura Rutledge, SEC Network and ESPN host, not just for college football in the SEC, but also NFL Live, as Tommy mentioned. Laura, really appreciate it.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate y'all.
It's quite a schedule, Tommy.
Well,
I mean, your kiddos are at a point where they're a little older now. I know it seems nonstop with cheer, and then Dylan's got football and other stuff. But to be doing not just one but multiple studio shows, it's good back and forth.
Busy time of life, but I'm glad she had the perspective to enjoy it while she can. But she is on the go, and I think just the opportunity to work with Nick Saban on a not on a coach reporter level like she's done in the past, but have him at your side at the set. She'll learn about football. There will be things she'll learn about coaching. There will be things that just comments he'll make off the air and things that he'll coach that team too. Just like he, maybe not in the same way he's coached a football team, but they'll all benefit from working around Nick Saban because they'll gain insight into a coach's mind that that's just different.
Yeah, and I think on Saban, as I was listening to her speak to him, one of the things I wanted to know is like, what does he think about Arkansas? I haven't heard him talk about, because you mentioned this the other day. We haven't listened to any of their coverage because we've been working the whole time. You were joking. You didn't even know if SEC Network was in the hotel, which is kind of funny. But I would love to hear him kind of dissect what Arkansas has, what he's picked up from the spring game, and you got to remember, he tried to hire Sam Pitman years ago. So he has a respect level for your head football coach, and I'd love to know more in depth what he thinks about Arkansas. And also, on the subject, she mentioned assistants, right? Jimbo's no longer in the league, but the three prominent Nick Saban assistants, or the most prominent, are Steve Sarkisian, Kirby Smart, and Lane Kiffin. Smart had the most to gain and benefit because, like, Sark beat him. Kiffin never did. In my opinion, even though I think that Georgia is going to dominate, I feel like that Lane Kiffin has the most to gain of any of the three assistants I just mentioned, because he couldn't get over that hump. Sark did, Smart did, but Kiffin couldn't. So I feel like not having to play Nick Saban.
Okay, I was trying to figure out where you were going. So you mean with Saban out, who maybe?
I think Kiffin has the most to gain of any of those three, because I think those coaches have already beat and shown they can beat him. Kiffin never figured it out.
Well, but if you had to rank Georgia, Texas, and Ole Miss as a
it's 1, 2, 3, as you said.
Right.
Georgia, Texas, Ole Miss.
There's some of that in there. Lane Kiffin, great football coach, but Ole Miss just doesn't stack up to what Georgia and Texas are. So there's some of that as well.
And
maybe the biggest, and you're not. You talk out both sides of your mouth on Kalen DeBoer. You think he's a top 3 coach in the league, but will be fired in 4 years. And I hear what you're saying, but maybe the most to gain for Lane Kiffin is if and when that Alabama job comes up, he may be the next one to slide in. And, having some 10-win seasons followed by another 10, 11-win season at Ole Miss will bolster the resume. And I think anytime you get the approval of the head coach and Nick Saban as an endorsement, and I think he would have that. I don't know that, but I think he would have that. Would go a long ways in his favor to maybe get that job someday. I still think ultimately that's where Lane Kiffin ends up being a head coach.
It's kind of like my relationship with Klay. I drive him nuts every once in a while, but I think over time I've grown on him a little bit. And
Let me be clear: you do not have Klay's endorsement.
I think that Kiffin has grown on Saban a little bit, even though he did some things early on in his career that he was definitely not fond of, and I understand that from that vantage point. One of the things I respectfully disagree with Laura is that the aspect of Arkansas being a contender every year. I think Arkansas fans just want to be a 10-win team every 4 years. Like every 4 years, you're on the brink of 10 wins.
I don't see the geography and the recruiting grounds and the competition that now completely surrounds your state setting up a situation where you're going to be a championship contender in the SEC on a regular basis. So I agree with you on that. I just think there's geography that also plays into it and finances now. She mentioned that in the portal era you just go get what you need. Well, that's assuming you have unlimited resources.
Yeah, and
everybody assumes you got unlimited resources at Arkansas, and you don't.
Because they
not
just,
even close.
Yeah, they just think that Walmart, Tyson, JB Hunter just throwing millions upon millions. Here's the thing I keep coming back to, and I'll never get this out of my mind. If Ole Miss can do it, you can do it. That's not a school that has had a track record. I mean, you've had Archie, you've had Eli. I love Dexter McCluster. I love the late Jevin Sneed. Houston Nutt had those guys playing well at one point. But can you name a lot of other Ole Miss legends? Can you name off the top of your head? Because there's not. And you're seeing a team now that has won 2 10-plus win seasons in 3 years since this NIL era started. You're seeing Missouri that just got 10 wins. Those bordering states with Mississippi has better recruiting than you do. Missouri has better recruiting than you, but it's not a lot. And Arkansas, again, has 17 3-star or better players in the class of 2025. This is an anomaly year.
Got it.
And you're not
you got to do well.
And you're not getting. You're right now. They're not committed to you. They could sign with you, but they're not committed to you. So I think the NIL era has helped teams or could help teams like Arkansas because I'm watching it with Ole Miss and Missouri right now.
You're watching it for 2 years. But the statement is, can you be a contender every year? We don't know that about Missouri, and we don't know that about Ole Miss. Can they do it every year?
Mm-hmm.
Well, we don't know. We know they've done it 2 years. Arkansas, 15 years ago did it back-to-back years, was a contender.
Yeah.
In 10 and 11. So before we get carried away that Missouri and Ole Miss has cracked the code, we don't know that yet. They've had a couple of good seasons, a couple of great seasons by their standards, a couple that we would trade for in a heartbeat.
Mm-hmm.
But we don't know that we're going to look up in 3 more years from now. We're going to be sitting at SEC Media Days where it's at and talking about, Ole Miss has won 50 games in 5 years. I don't know that we're going to talk about that.
I think if Lane Kiffin is still their coach, because I thought Lane would try and go for the Bama job the second time around, not the first. I don't think he wanted to follow Saban. But I think if Lane Kiffin is still their head coach, when we look up in 5 years, they're going to have similar type of success. Because I think he thrives, even though he's been openly critical about it. There's a difference between being openly critical about it and then not using it to your advantage. He's been critical, and he's found loopholes. He's gotten the fan base behind him. Chuck always messes with me about being a Lane Kiffin fan. I don't know how you can't like what he's doing. They brought in the number 1 transfer portal class in the country this past year.
Who doesn't like
They're
it?
on the brink. People just Arkansas say Arkansas fans.
Who thinks Lane Kiffin's doing a bad job?
Arkansas fans just like to take shots at other coaches for whatever reason.
I haven't met anyone thinks Lane Kiffin's doing a bad job.
No, but again, where I come to is if the Florida job comes open, if they try and get him, or if the Bama job comes open, if he's still the Ole Miss coach in 5 years, they are going to be that successful, in my opinion.
Don't rule out the NFL again for him. That's another place where, college coaches don't just, if you get some truth serum, and they all say we love for the players to get money, and hey, they're for it and I believe they're sincere in that. But this is a complete pain in the butt and a headache for these coaches to have to deal with the fundraising. To I know they're not supposed to be involved in parsing out the money, but they are dealing with all the consequences that come along with that. A coach that has an opportunity to go to the NFL is going to seriously consider that getting out of college if they get a chance, because you don't have to deal with a lot of this crap.
To me, I don't think his ego would allow him to. He's the
ego.
Just listen where I'm coming from. He's the most popular man in the state of Mississippi right now.
Okay.
He's not going to be even in probably the top 5, top 10 of whatever state he goes to. Even not in that old locker room. He has an ego attached to him. There's no question about that.
They all do at this level.
Yeah, but that's his ego will not allow him to be not the main guy. That's why I don't foresee him going back to the National Football League.
That may be your opinion. I don't know that's fact. So we're brought to you by Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. They've got the best brands like Grand Design, Forest River, and Brinkley, which has the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. Plus, you get a lifetime warranty on every new RV they sell at Wheels RV. 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
The reason I brought up the Lane Kiffin stuff is JT and Hot Springs kind of alluded to it. I just kind of lost where I was going. I drove off the road is because there was a time where you thought Lane Kiffin was going to be Arkansas's head coach. And you mentioned the idea of Arkansas fans trading what he's done the last 2 or 3 seasons. I think they won like 8 games 2 years ago. So, that would be a lot better than where you are right now. But, again, it didn't play out that way. Now, one of the things that...
And you're assuming he could replicate that here versus there.
I think he could, but you just never know. One of the things that we got a chance to sit down and hear yesterday was Missouri head coach Eli Drinkwitz. Dennis Dodd, CBS Sports, had a hot seat board where it's his opinion, it's not fact. But it was funny because Eli Drinkwitz was on the top of that list last year, and they won 10 games. And this is kind of his response because I think we can tie this into Sam. Take a listen.
Hot seat, cold seat. I mean, the only person that had me on the hot seat was Dennis Dodd. It is what it is, man. We all understand there's expectations with this job, and when you're not meeting them, obviously the noise picks up.
It is wild how quickly things can change within college football coaching circles, and how like a fan base, because there was a lot of Missouri fans that were not bought in on him a year ago, and then all of a sudden he flips the script and changes it. I know you've referred to that a time or two on this program, and now Missouri's in a great place, not just from a schedule standpoint this year, which they have the easiest schedule in the SEC, but they're recruiting at a very high level. I don't know if that's necessarily indicating that Sam's all of a sudden going to get to 10 wins, but I think people just assume that, hey, you had a bad year last year, which they did. There's no, you can't twist it in any way, shape, or form. Arkansas's 4-8, but that's just going to automatically lead to a bad year this year.
Well, and I don't believe Missouri is a destination job by any stretch. It's Eli Drinkwitz at the top of the mountain where he wants to be. If you got some honesty out of him in a private conversation, is he a candidate if another top-shelf job opens up in the SEC or around the country? I mean, now the list of jobs you would want is condensed to really about 2 leagues, maybe part of the Big 12.
Yeah.
I mean, there's the list has shrunk because the Pac-12's gone. And, if he has another 10-win year, does he stick at Missouri? That's a question I've got. Would he ever be a candidate at Arkansas? He's off the Malzahn tree. Gus, at one time, I believe, wanted to be the head coach at Arkansas. I think that ship has sailed, and it will never happen because he wants to be able to retire here. I don't know where Eli wants to retire. My guess is it's not Arkansas. I don't know that Arkansas would be a job of real interest to him.
I didn't know he was from, Oklahoma. I just assumed.
Well, he was born in Oklahoma. He was born in Norman, but moved to Alma as a young kid, and he's in Arkansas.
Yeah,
he's from Alma.
That was kind of an interesting story to hear because to divulge the initial, whereas I guess Barry Trammell, who's a legendary Oklahoma columnist, asked him that question. But, yeah, I don't think in the current regime that he would take this job. There would have to be a...
Well, the job's not open, but I don't know it would even interest him if it was open at some. I'm not talking about next year, and I'm not saying Sam's going after this. I'm just saying I don't know that he is. Where would he go next? Because I don't think Missouri's, the destination job everybody, that's in his mind. Maybe I'm wrong. I mean, I can't speak for Eli Drinkwitz, but I got to believe if he wins 10 games again at Missouri, my point is he's going to be a prized candidate for other openings. That's my point.
Yeah, and again, listening to him kind of joke about that, I don't know how he used his motivation because there's a lot of outside noise for Sam Pitman in this football program. You always hear coaches say, lock it in together. We don't listen, read the press clippings and stuff. But for some, it affects you in worse ways. Others thrive under pressure. We're going to find out what kind of football coach Sam Pitman is this year. I think you all know that. It's pretty open, and it's pretty blunt direct. If they don't have a good season, there's a good chance that he's let go either at the end of the season or at some point during it. I hope that doesn't happen. I don't want to have to deal with a coaching search, even though it would be pretty wild. That's the what's the word I'm looking for? Is that the prime rib of sports talk radio? Is coaching searches when people call in and give their opinion?
I guess it depends on which chair you're sitting in. It does keep things pretty spicy for a week or two. But we've been through too many searches. We need, not just for our own sanity and for the season. This program needs stability. I mean, this is critically important. You've had way too many coaches since Houston Nutt. Way too many. He had a 10-year run, and then, I don't want to go through the list because we all know what it is, but this program has not had stability for 15 years. And you need Sam to win and win decisively this year. So there is no conversation. You mentioned the 17 recruits. 26 is a big year for recruiting. Stability is what's needed right now, more than ever at Arkansas. Hey, it's Wednesday. That means they've got the jumbo pork sandwich on special today over with Wade and Morgan and our friends at Arts Barbecue. Burgers and more. Jumbo sliced pork, tender and delicious. Get a side of your choice. It's served on Texas toast. Put some of that Arts sauce on it. I love their sauce. Try that out today. Get onion rings, maybe their potato salad to go along with that. Maybe start the meal off with some friends over some fried pickles as well. It's only $9.99 today. The jumbo sliced pork sandwich with a side of your choice. Arts Barbecue, Rogers Avenue, next to Buddy's in Fort Smith.
All right, hour number 2 coming up next.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
Work now, pay later with sizzling savings at WT Equipment. No money down, no interest, and no payments until 2025 on select New Holland equipment. Choose 0 for 60 or up to 10,000 cash back, plus free net wrap on roll belt round balers. 0 for 72 or up to 10,000 cash back on mid-range tractors. Or 0 for 72 plus an additional 2,000 cash back on a new compact. Work smarter with no money down, no interest, and no payments on your choice of the summer's hottest deals. At WT Equipment, your partner in progress.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Home is everything. It's your sanctuary, your command center, your music room, and your art studio. It's where you eat family dinners and make lasting memories. When you use a Weichert agent to help you find your home, we'll help you find the space to make it yours. When you begin your search, know that a Weichert agent will be there with you every step of the way. Because at Weichert Realtors, we guide you home. To get started, call your local Weichert agent and look for our bright yellow signs all over town. At Weichert Realtors, we sell more because we do more. Each Weichert franchised office is independently owned and operated.
This is The Morning Rush.
Waiting on someone to bale your hay? Come in to Gray Brothers Equipment and let us show you how affordable only your own Kubota hay equipment can be. Bale your hay when it's ready, not when it's burned up. With economical pricing at Gray Brothers and affordable interest rates from Kubota, this year is the year to bale your own hay. That's Gray Brothers Equipment in Fort Smith and Poto, where if you pick orange, you'll never get a lemon.
Do you need gutters but think they're too expensive, or that you need to get the soffit or fascia ready? No worries. Call the Gutter Guy. He does it all. No need to call multiple companies to get the right gutters for your home. Call the Gutter Guy. Quality, low maintenance, leak-free gutters with a 5-year warranty. The Gutter Guy also does vinyl siding and windows. The Gutter Guy. Over 30 years experience. Call 226-1259. Call the Gutter Guy.
The tires on your vehicle go round and round, but when they don't, go to Van Alma Tire. They have tires in their name. That's their specialty. Van Alma Tire is all about tires. They have all the name brands and private labels available for you and in stock. So when it comes to getting tires for your ride, it's worth the drive. And financing is available. Ask for details. Whatever your tire need, check out Van Alma Tires on Highway 64 between Van Buren and Alma. Ready to get you rolling on new tires at Van Alma Tire.
Missing or broken teeth? Sharp Smiles wants you to start chewing again with dental implants. Scared of the dentist? Sharp Smiles will help you overcome your fear. Big dental problems? Sharp Smiles Modern Dentistry and Implants is your answer to your dental needs and services, where your smile is top priority. Get the smile you have always wanted from the friendly faces at Sharp Smiles, 2600 Market Trace, Suite B, off Jenny Lind across from Harps. For more information, visit the website at sharpsmilesdds.com or call 648-9988.
Clogs? Nobody wants a clog. Westark Plumbing knows that clogs are a serious issue. They can signal that bigger problems are on the way. So contact Westark Plumbing while the problem is small. Slow shower and sink drain, gurgling toilets, and outside cleanouts making a mess? Call 479-646-5151 today. Westark Plumbing and expert drain cleaning since 1993. They keep you flowing. If you have slow drains or high water bills, call Westark Plumbing and expert drain cleaning service. 646-5151.
The Wave Rural Connect Shoal Creek Zone is open. Fast fiber internet, TV, and home phone available. This covers Midway, New Blaine, Scranton, Delaware, and other areas. Even if this isn't your zone, check your address. We might be available for you. Get your whole home solution. Internet, TV, and phone from a local provider. Go to signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
Stop by the Golf Nut today and check out the full line of lab putters featuring Lie-Angle balanced technology. Lab putters were used by 14% of professionals in the 2024 Masters Tournament. All models of the new Scotty Cameron Phantom putters are in stock, including the longer 38-inch model. Come discover the biggest selection of name brand clubs, apparel, and accessories in the region. The Golf Nut, 5121 Towson Avenue, your #1 golf shop for over 30 years.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, we will see a chance of showers and thunderstorms. Our high temperatures this afternoon, mid-80s north, low 90s south. Good chance of showers and thunderstorms tonight and overnight, low mid to upper 60s. And we could see some scattered showers and thunderstorms across the south, otherwise increasing sunshine. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by real estate agents Nick and Ellie Bridewell. Ready to serve. The Bud Light Countdown is on. Arkansas football begins in 43 days.
This hour of the Morning Rush is driven by Rath Auto Resources in Fort Smith and online at rathauto.com. You're rolling with Rath on the Morning Rush.
All the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath.
Yeah, initially I was wondering how I got that draw, but we're not one to complain. We're one to be excited. I think when you step into the shoes of a University of Georgia football player, you accept that challenge is going to be there. I mean, we kind of embrace that and we love it. I mean, and what you didn't get to mention is that we open with Clemson too, who's one of the top programs in the country. So we're really excited about that. I think that motivates our off season so that we have the right kind of approach to the off season. And, our guys embrace that. I mean, as coaches, you want to play the best. And people forget that when you spent time in the NFL, every week was like that. So when Texas and Oklahoma came into the conference, every schedule was going to get harder. It wasn't going to get easier. It was going to get harder. And we embrace that. We look forward to it and excited for the challenge to go to some really tough places.
Hey, this is Darren McFadden. You're listening to The Morning Rush.
Live from the Busch Light Studios.
Heard all across ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com.
Hit that line.
This is the Morning Rush with Ty Richardson, Tommy Kraft, and Chuck Barrett.
You're in need of a serious attitude adjustment, young man. You better get your priorities straight.
Produced by Christian Johnston.
In spite of the juvenile snickers of some, this is a serious matter.
Good morning, gentlemen. Let me rephrase that. You got two gentlemen. You got one ain't earned it yet, has he?
You don't need to wear a ball cap, man. You need to let those golden locks flow.
It's
Hey, we bring you back live to hour number 2 of the Morning Rush at Radio Row SEC Media Days, presented by the Stadium Shop on Razorback, Lindbergh Real Estate Team, and WT Equipment. Tommy, a beef of both of ours. Broke open the show with it. Is the sun. Went out at 6 a.m. It's back out. Luckily, we have some good things along with our beefs, like oatmeal, which I haven't had in 15 years, bagels, which I haven't had in some time. So we got this continental breakfast. I know Ruskin and Zach complain about continental breakfast, but I am not beefing about the food we get each and every morning.
I've been trying to stay away from the carbs, so I've been on the fruit, which the watermelon today is not as good as the watermelon yesterday. But strawberries are on point.
Did they not fly it in from Cave City or
no? This is not Cave City level. Yesterday was Cave City level. Yeah, today I don't know. I don't know where they got. So that's where we begin in this hour at SEC Media Days. It is a What's Your Beef Wednesday. What's bothering you? I said earlier that one of my beefs was the all-star uniforms last night. Hideous. What's Your Beef Wednesday? Brought to you by Richard's Country Meat Market in Fayetteville. What's going on the grill tonight? What's going on the grill this weekend? You'll find only the best at Richard's Country Meat Market, from the aroma of steak to perfectly flavored gourmet burgers and fresh kebabs on the grill. Hey, this summer, feast on the best with Richard's Country Meat Market in Fayetteville. Online at richardscountrymeatmarket.com. What's beefing with you on this What's Your Beef Wednesday? You can call or text 877-377-6963.
Well, it sounds like Kirby Smart, even though he kept coming back to liking the challenge, his beef is with the SEC and the schedule that has been given out. Again, they go to Oxford, to Austin, and to Tuscaloosa. So 3 big games ahead for Kirby Smart, and they open with the Clemson Tigers that he said is that. I guess one of my beefs that wasn't a beef prior to this morning when you brought it up is our texters are on the side that Zach's going to beat Big C in NCAA football, whether it's Tyler, Paul, and some others. Big C, that kind of ticks me off, man, that they're siding with Zach on this very program. You're going to have to show people that the underdog is going to come out on top.
He's really confident. He's really good at convincing everybody he's gonna beat me. But I have that confidence within myself, so I don't need everybody on my bandwagon.
Ty, how do we do this? Do we set up some kind of epic showdown in a location? Where do we? We can't just have this event online and the two of them are playing in their living rooms.
I mean, I legitimately think you should do it during the Ruskin and Zach broadcast in the studio.
There's going to be cursing going on during this. You can't properly play video games
without cursing.
So, no, I'm
telling
you right now, as whatever authority I have, and it's limited, it's more limited at home. I got a little more freedom to say what's going to happen at work. We are not doing – we may do it on the air during a show. I'm okay with that. They will not have microphones right up on them.
Okay.
That's a bad idea.
Well, his big thing is getting in people's head. He said he likes to talk trash the whole game. So
he's a marshmallow man up there. You can do this, Big C. We believe in you.
I did too. And it was funny. Like,
we believe in you.
I was curious the first coach to mention NCAA football, and I think it was, in fact, Kirby Smart. And apparently he made
You'll like this, Big C.
He made his players laugh.
Of course, what's everybody talking about yesterday? What's all college football players talking about? The new game that's out. And I'm just trying to get in the conversation and talk to them about it. That game's pretty awesome. And they're like, yeah, I can't wait to get to the hotel, and I'm going to play it tonight, and everybody's talking about it. And I was like, how do they keep that thing in stores? It's got to sell out. How they keep it in stores? And Michael and Malachi just fell out laughing. And they're like, Coach, they don't sell those things in stores anymore. They're not in the stores. And I was so embarrassed. But I was glad they got a kick out of that because it made me realize how out of touch I actually am with how far things have come. You can just download it and go play. It's that simple. So the stores don't have to keep it.
I'll give Coach credit there. I still thought you had to buy it in stores too. But I haven't had a console in 10 years.
So I remember we would do radio remotes and do a lot of promotion about, hey, get over here to Best Buy and camp out on the sidewalk. And people, Big C, do you remember the day when people would camp out on the side? Well, you're a little older than I probably give you credit for. I mean, there was a day where you would go sleep in a tent at Best Buy to be the first to get Madden or whatever it was. Back then, what was the
Call of Duty, Halo.
Call of Duty, that was yeah. Because I'm just old. You know, I hadn't been a gamer in a long time. But you know, now you don't buy it in stores, obviously.
I think you actually would have a good time playing Dylan in this game. So
I would, but I don't even know what the buttons on the controllers do anymore.
Man, I know better than to challenge Zach because he beat me by like 40-something in Madden by the third quarter, and I just turned it off. But I have confidence in Big C, as does Russell in Huntsville, Josh in Harrison, and others. By the way,
we'll figure this out. We'll have to have a. We'll have to do this on location somewhere so that maybe we can have, we'll sell tickets. We'll have sections of the crowd.
Yeah, Billy and Claremore.
Maybe we can do something to raise money for somebody good.
A non-NCAA football text this morning, Tommy. Billy and Claremore says to watch the carb count of watermelon and fruit. It's very high.
No. Watermelon's very low on the glycemic scale.
That's a big word. I don't know. What does glycemic mean?
Look it up. Sugar level.
Sugar level. Okay. Let's see. Cody and Lavaca is also on your side, Big C. JT wants it to be live streamed on YouTube so they can actually say what they want to say. So I think, Big C, we've got
we're going to go to work on this.
We've got a challenge, and it's just up to you to.
How long do you need to prepare for this, Big C?
Man,
how much preseason training do you need?
I could go tonight, but I know that's not realistic.
Well, I mean, Arns is quite a bit older than you.
He is. He's probably
8 or 10 years older than me. So
I don't know. He said he hadn't played it in a while. He hadn't lost since 2004. I don't know if I believe that. But
you should say you want to do this like late at night because then that would put him in a
dozing off.
Yeah, I mean, like late for him 7:45. You know,
honestly, late for me.
I'm in that
7:45.
I mean, I relate to him a lot more than Big C on that.
Another beef of mine is that I am aging quicker. I don't know if I can make it to karaoke tonight. I woke up this morning.
I don't even think about making it to karaoke tonight.
I woke up.
I don't even wonder. I already know the answer.
I gave myself an extra 15 minutes to sleep in. I woke up at 3:45, and my head was throbbing this morning. I was like, my goodness, I don't know.
You didn't drink during the week.
Nope, we're out of state. That rule does not apply. Does not apply.
I slept like a baby last
Everyone's sleeping on me.
They're sleeping on you,
They're
Big
sleeping
C.
on me.
All right, we got you. Hey, we're in your camp. Shoulder rubs, massage, whatever you need. Ty's got you. He's got you. Hey, brought to you by APAC Arcola. They have immediate openings in Northwest and North Central Arkansas. If you are looking for a great job with a great company, offering great pay, benefits, retirement, profit sharing, the full package. APAC Arcola has that right now, and many jobs open across the region. Go to jobs.crh.com, interactive map there, variety of positions from licensed CDL drivers to electricians to diesel mechanics and more. That's jobs.crh.com. APAC Arcola is an equal opportunity employer.
All right, when we return, we're going to talk to Brett Norsworthy, a.k.a. Stats, and get into our Morning Rush Daily Questions. We're live from Radio Row in Dallas, Texas.
ESPN Arkansas is kicking off college football live from Radio Row in Dallas, Texas at SEC Media Days. Our shows provide insight on player and coach interviews, including special moments throughout the entire week. Make sure to tune in to the Morning Rush, Halftime, and Ruskin and Zach to get this unique coverage. Presented by the Stadium Shop on Razorback, WT Equipment, and Limbird Real Estate Group.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Home is everything. It's your sanctuary, your command center, your music room, and your art studio. It's where you eat family dinners and make lasting memories. When you use a Weichert agent to help you find your home, we'll help you find the space to make it yours. When you begin your search, know that a Weichert agent will be there with you every step of the way. Because at Weichert Realtors, we guide you home. To get started, call your local Weichert agent and look for our bright yellow signs all over town. At Weichert Realtors, we sell more because we do more. Each Weichert franchised office is independently owned and operated.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
I didn't think you had it in you.
I'm your huckleberry.
This is the Morning Rush.
Summer is here and adventure is calling. Visit Southern Tire Mart for a new set of Yokohama tires to get your vehicle ready for summer travels. Southern Tire Mart is your trusted partner for top quality tires, professional services, and competitive pricing. Visit us in Fort Smith at 9700 Highway 271 and let Southern Tire Mart ensure your vehicle is ready for the open road. Southern Tire Mart is a proud dealer of Yokohama tires. We keep America rolling.
Calling all biscuit lovers. Hardee's limited edition blueberry biscuits are the stuff of biscuit dreams. Our famous buttermilk biscuits with summer's favorite berries baked in, served warm, and drizzled with icing. Don't miss your chance to try this special summertime treat while blueberry biscuits are still in season and ripe for the picking. Only at Hardee's. Goodness in the making. Order ahead on the Hardee's app. Participation may vary. Exclusions apply by time of day.
And we're back with the action. Coke Zero Sugar might be the best Coke ever.
That's right, Jim. With an irresistible taste and zero sugar, Coke Zero Sugar is a must-try for any sports fan. So make sure you... Wait, Jim, I didn't mean try it right now. We're still on the air.
Best Coke ever? Take a taste, Jen.
Really?
No, not right now, Jen. We got a game to call.
There's more to a tractor than just horsepower. A tractor also needs weight to get that horsepower to the ground. With TYM, a heavier tractor comes standard. Many of the TYM models weigh more for the horsepower than comparable tractors from the big names, and tractors that weigh more do more. See Bush Tractor at their new location at 6100 South Zero in Fort Smith, or log on to bushtractor.com to see how they can upgrade your productivity.
What's new at Wheeler Power Sports? Short answer, a lot. All new Kawasaki Ninja 500, Z500, Eliminators, and Mule Pro Diesels. New Kawasaki Ridge side-by-side is now arriving. New Polaris Expeditions and Ranger XD 1500s. New Suzuki GSX 8R. New 2024 model Polaris Slingshots, including the Roush Edition, are now in stock. Check us out online at WheelerPowersports.com or stop by and see us at downtown Fort Smith at 901 North 11th Street. Wheeler Power Sports, keeping the good times rolling since 1967.
Dozy Place has now been serving award-winning steaks for over 20 years. Celebrate your special birthday, holiday, person, or just because at Dozy Place. Start with delicious appetizers and your choice of drinks from the largest selection of wines, beer, and liquor in the River Valley. Dozy Place is open Tuesday through Thursday 5 till 9 and Friday and Saturday 5 till 10. Reservations are recommended, so call 784-9111. 784-9111 for Dozy Place, 422 North 3rd Street, Fort Smith.
Whether it's torque, horsepower, or just extreme work, diesel trucks do their job. But when your diesel truck needs maintenance or repair, it's time to head to Extreme Diesel. Everything from standard maintenance to extreme repairs, including injector testing. Extreme Diesel delivers. They have the tools and service for your Cummins, Duramax, or Power Stroke. You trust your truck to deliver on your needs, and you can trust your truck at Extreme Diesel, 6630 Alma Highway between Van Buren and Alma. Check them out on Facebook or give them a call at 651-3363. They're bilingual, now offering CP4 solutions for both Chevy and Ford.
Hi, everybody. Larry Rath here for Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center with exciting news. Backed by popular demand, state sales tax paid when you trade on our huge inventory of road-ready certified vehicles. That's right. This month, get the best used car your money can buy, road-ready certified with warranty, and get your state sales tax paid when you trade. One more reason all the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath. Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, just north of Phoenix on Towson, Fort Smith.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. It's time for the Morning Rush Daily Question.
Your Honor, I'd like to ask for a recess.
I'd like an answer to the question, Judge.
The court will wait for an answer.
All right, back on Radio Row, SEC Media Days from the Omni Hotel. All of our coverage presented by the Stadium Shop in Fayetteville, by WT Equipment, and by the Lindbergh Real Estate Group. It is time for a Morning Rush Daily Question. We welcome Brett Norsworthy, WHBQ in Memphis, in for the conversation. We'll talk some Ole Miss, but today, first up, guys, is Kalen DeBoer, new head coach at Alabama. Nick Saban has not picked Alabama to make the SEC championship game, so that's my question to you guys. Is Alabama a contender this year? Will Alabama threaten the SEC championship game?
They will. I have them third in the SEC.
I'm going to go Oppo Taco stats. I'm going to say no. I know Milroe's back for another year, but they lost maybe their best player in Caleb Downs to Ohio State. There's just so much difficulty following the greatest coach of not just a university, but of all time. And I know DeBoer's in a good situation in Tuscaloosa, but I think they'll be like 8-4, 9-3. I know they get Georgia at home, but I don't. Yeah. I thought they were going to drop
opener, by the way. I don't think people have also realized that. They play Wisconsin, then a bye week, then Georgia. That is their conference opener. I'm going to go the opposite way. I think what Nick Saban has done, because he knows their roster maybe better than Kalen DeBoer to some degree, and certainly better than anyone in this building, I think he's provided a little bit of motivation back to home base. Hey, Coach doesn't believe it.
Reverse rat poison?
I think it's
what would that be?
I don't know. I think that's what he's done.
Frosted Flakes?
I don't know what I think he's put out a little rat poison for him. So
sprinkled with sugar, Frosted Flakes?
I'm going to go the opposite way and say Alabama will make the SEC championship because Georgia's got an extremely tough road schedule.
I got Georgia 12-0.
And
do you really?
You know,
wow.
I'm not quite the believer that Texas is just going to come in and ascend to number 2 in this league quite a ways. So I'm going to put Alabama, for the sake of this discussion at least, for this 20-minute segment, in the championship game. And I just don't have this – everyone in this league has been waiting for the moment where Nick Saban is no longer the head coach and they think there's an implosion, a sinkhole that will happen in Tuscaloosa and stats. I'm not a believer in that.
I'm not either. I have Bama 11-1. I have them third. Georgia 1, Texas 2, Bama 3. And I voted Ole Miss 4 with LSU 5. Had the Razorbacks 12. I know you're going to ask me that. But how about this for Nick Saban on game day? Game day will be in Tuscaloosa September 28th. We all agree?
Oh, yeah. No question.
When it gets to the pick segment at 10:50, and he picks Georgia, do they boo him? Outside, he's got a statue and he's sitting there.
No.
Do they boo him at Bryant-Denny?
Nope.
That's a good question. I think they might.
I think
if he picks against Georgia, I think they might.
It's going to be, on the road if they're in Knoxville, third Saturday of October at Knoxville.
Oh, and that's a different deal.
The treatment he's going to get there, because I don't know if there's anybody he pulverized more than Tennessee. 17-1 against Tennessee.
Arkansas never beat him.
Yeah.
But no, that's
I don't think Vandy ever beat him either.
Yeah.
They didn't play every year either.
No, and here's something. You
State beat him. Sylvester Croom got him year 1.
Year 1, that's right. Arkansas almost got him year 1, but
Arkansas but almost doesn't count.
Yeah. That's it. So if Georgia and Alabama were to be in the SEC championship, of course that would be a rematch. You have to think about this: the possibility of not a rematch, a rematch, right? Mm-hmm. Like you could play. Obviously, Georgia and Alabama play at the end of September. They could play in the SEC championship game. Then they could see each other in college football playoff. I don't think that's ever happened in college football history before, guys.
Georgia could play 4 times at the Mercedes-Benz Dome. They open against Clemson. They could play in the SEC championship game. If they're the number 1 seed, they get preference on the bowl season. The Peach Bowl hosts a quarterfinal game, and then the national championship game is there as well, January 20th.
I would bet money.
Considered that.
I would bet money that that's going to happen, right? I mean, Georgia has the best.
I would too. That's what I have. I have Georgia playing Ohio State in the national championship game.
Yeah, if Ohio State figures out their quarterback situation, and I know Will Howard is the guy they brought over from Kansas State. I don't even know if he's going to start. Then I mean, that roster is unbelievable. They bring down, of course, Quinshawn Judkins, who came from Oxford.
Great
they're
player.
loaded, but I don't know. It was odd to see them struggle at that position last year. I'm curious if Ryan Day figures it out for this season.
All right, that's your Morning Rush Daily Questions brought to you this morning on a What's Your Beef Wednesday by Richard's Country Meat Market. They're in Fayetteville. If you're going to the grill soon, take Richard's great meat and the great selection along with it. Quality, value, and selection at Richard's Country Meat Market. You want an 1.5 inch thick bone-in ribeye? They got it for you. You want a great piece of chicken, or you want some great fish or seafood? They've got that for you as well. Online, you can see the variety at richardscountrymeatmarket.com. That's Richard's Country Meat Market in Fayetteville. Brett Norsworthy here with us on Radio Rose. We mentioned a moment ago, you cover Ole Miss. You are part of their football network on the pre- and post-game. Lane Kiffin was here, and as expected, a little bit subdued in his mood and presence because of the passing of his father, Monty Kiffin, late last week.
Yeah, he's hurting, and Coach Monty Kiffin's service will be Saturday in Tampa, and it's still very raw for Lane, and that was his football and his hero. I think Lane Kiffin's 3 football idols, first and foremost, his dad, Monty Kiffin, then Coach Pete Carroll, and then Coach Nick Saban. And you think about learning from those 3, and all 3 of those with the crossover from college to pro and back, and Lane's had that as well. He learned a lot of football from them, and it was so fun having Coach Monty Kiffin around in Oxford since Lane got the job. But Coach Kiffin and his wife, they moved to Oxford to be near Lane and follow his career and help him out. And talking with him, and of course I would talk with him about when he was defensive coordinator for Lou Holtz in 77, 78, and 79 for the Razorbacks. And I told him one Friday night, it was during COVID, so there was nobody at the team hotel except for us. And we were talking about the 79 game in Little Rock against Texas. The Razorbacks won 17-14. And when the game was over, Monty Kiffin and Randy Weston, your defensive back from right here in the Dallas area, from Sherman, they were celebrating on the field and rolling around on the field in a ball. And it really highlighted how much his players just loved him. And he told me he loved his time at Fayetteville, and he loved working for Coach Holtz. He said the day he was hired, Lou said, Monty, you can run any defense you want. I don't care if you blitz, zone, man, I don't care whatever you run. All I want you to do is get me the ball back.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Now, you mentioned, again, we're talking about Lane Kiffin. One of the things he also addressed yesterday was his conversation with one of his idols, as you said, Nick Saban. That rat poison term came up. This is probably the most talked about Ole Miss team in quite some time. Ever. And you would know that more than me. How do you think he's able to handle that? And more importantly, how does Jackson Dart in year 3 handled that?
They're just so in sync. The symmetry they have over 3 years that at times had been rocky. Getting him from USC, to get Michael Trigg and Dart was big in the portal.
Bringing in Howard.
Kind of in the infancy of that, and then bring in Walker Howard to push him. But remember, Dart's first year as a starter, the season of 22, he started opening game, and then Luke Altmaier started the second game. Lane wanted a competition with him. He never wanted Jackson real comfortable. He wanted him kind of always knowing he had to perform. This is the first August that he's really entering into fall camp with clearly the number 1 starter, and he is. And a lot depends on the quarterback, and he can get it done. How Jackson Dart performed last year in key moments, especially late in the LSU game, late in the Arkansas game, late in the Texas A&M game, late in the Egg Bowl against Mississippi State, and then at the bowl game against Penn State.
Now, last time Ole Miss came to Fayetteville, it was bloodbath, and it's late in November again, like 2 years ago. It's going to be cold regardless of the game time. I know Ole Miss has not necessarily handled themselves well in Fayetteville, but their roster is far superior to Arkansas's. How do you factor in those kind of areas when it comes to that game coming up in November?
Ty, I think history matters. Arkansas has only lost to Ole Miss once in Fayetteville since Ole Miss joined that twice. Twice. Davy Cup got them, and then Houston in the wild game in 08, and that atmosphere was off the charts. And 2 years ago, I thought clearly Ole Miss was taking the better team out on the field that night, and looked up and 42-6, 42-10 at one point, and it didn't feel like it was that close. Got it closer for the history books, but it was a absolute mauling. Now that was the week after we had lost to Alabama in 2 years ago, and didn't handle the rest of the year very well. We're 8-1, driving to beat Alabama, and win the game in Oxford, get an incompletion. Time runs out, lose to Bama, lose to Arkansas, losing the Egg Bowl, losing the Texas Bowl, finish the year on a 4-game losing streak.
Yeah. So let's talk about the schedule. 4 non-conference games to open, meaning 8 conference games with a couple of byes filtered in for the rest of the way. Similar to what Ole Miss did last year with a soft start or presumed soft start to the schedule, but Ty brings up the Arkansas game, which is sandwiched between OU and Georgia. I think it's a great place for Arkansas to face Ole Miss, but your thoughts on just the beginning of this schedule, having 8 SEC games in a row, and is that a benefit or is that a detriment to Ole Miss in the back half of the season?
Well, it's factored in there with, like you said, with those 2 open dates, October 19th and then again on November the 16th. So that helps. But everybody gets the 2 open dates now. It is manageable. I won't say easy. Nothing's easy in the SEC, but this is manageable. Not to play Alabama, not to play Auburn, not have to play Texas. I'll take that.
Yeah, Missouri might have just the only easier schedule in the league when you look at what Ole Miss has to
don't have to play A&M.
Yep. Again, Brett Norsworthy is our guest, better known as Stats, 3-6 Sports Time on Sports 56 across Memphis. Tommy and I were kicking around the idea earlier of Lane Kiffin and if he's going to stay at Ole Miss for a while. Asked Richard Cross, one of your coworkers, about this the other day. The Florida job could come open. Maybe the Alabama job comes open. He brought up the possibility of the NFL. Does he feel like, you know him, does he feel like he has enough in Oxford to win a national championship?
Well, he does, but they got to keep that collective up. I think that will hinge a lot to him staying a long time. If the collective stays, cup runneth over, and right now it is, and our Grove Collective director, Walker Jones, has just done a terrific job, almost the model for off-the-radar type places to create their collective and show that you can be active in it and you can do well with it. If it stays up and he can get players there, he'll stay a long time. Did any of us really believe he would be here for a fifth straight year at Ole Miss?
No. So what are they doing with the collective? Because Arkansas has not figured that out. They just announced their 3rd leadership regime with their NIL collective. What is Ole Miss doing that is fundamentally working?
Well, Walker played there and then later worked there, and he knows everybody. You've got to get somebody that's fearless with that big donation list, the big hitter list. And I would say Arkansas's got one of the best donor booster lists in college sports that you could go down. You've got to work it. You've got to stay after it. But you also have to have somebody as the head coach that the people can see that the money's being well invested and then well spent. You have to have somebody that everybody will gravitate to.
Yeah, I think about kind of what happened for Ole Miss in the offseason. And I don't know the particulars of everything with Quinshaw Judkins, but he elects to go to Ohio State. They bring in a couple other running backs. It is, the free agency term that Lane used this week, it is a balance. You're having to figure out, is this guy worth the amount of money that he's requesting, or am I better off getting a couple guys maybe worth that same equivalent?
Yeah, you're going to spend $1 million on one or $500,000 on two.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it comes down to. With Quinshawn at the bowl game, everybody thought everybody was set, everybody's coming back. And if Quinshawn returns, if you think this has been an offseason and a summer of love for Ole Miss, if Quinshawn returns, Ole Miss might be number 1 or 2 in some of these.
Yeah.
Wait, it's not way too early anymore in some of these early polls. Instead, 5, 6, 7. We'll see about AP when that's released in August. And everybody thought Quinshawn was coming back. Great youngster. Don't believe these stories of discontent and him yow-yowing with his offensive lineman at the bowl game. That is all a load of garbage by fans irritated that he left and that they thought he was coming back. Never fumbles, always falling forward, and plays his tail off. If Jackson Dart can't win the Heisman Trophy, I want Quinshawn Judkins to win it at Ohio State.
And that game that we were referencing earlier, you've got to remember Quinshawn also had a fantastic game. It was just kind of outshined by Rocket and what they were able to do initially. That was the battle. It was so weird last year because you had Rocket and Quinshawn basically dubbed 1 and 2 best in the SEC. Both are injured, and we just didn't get to see them more Rocket than Quinshawn, but you just didn't.
And now they're both gone.
Yeah,
or from those schools, Rockets at least still in the SEC.
So Chris Pupal, Ole Miss. Yeah. Lane gave him some love the other day. What kind of impact is
he? He kind of dodged the question a little bit. I thought a little bit on Pupal, but we love facing him. And Lane talked about you almost have intel built on the opposing teams.
Yeah.
And especially in the old West, as much as a catalog on any players. So they loved him, and then when he expressed his availability, Ole Miss and Lane really wanted him because you've got to have a linebacker, big time linebackers, and Ole Miss really hadn't since the 21 season with Chance Campbell.
Yeah. Just down the road, Jeff Lebby takes over at Mississippi State. Kind of paint the picture of what the temperature's like in the state. There's a program that hasn't had a lot of stability, unfortunately, with the death of Leach, and then go with Arnett and raise him from defensive coordinator. They're looking to find stability with Lebby.
But they got it. Jeff Lebby's a great guy. I loved being around him and with him when he was at Ole Miss as much as anybody. And he the development that he had in Matt Corral, and in kind of the early stages of Jackson Dart as well, he really had a big touch. He's going to get a quarterback at State. I don't know if it's Blake Shapen or not, but he will win sufficiently there and do him a good job.
Yeah, and I think now's the time. But I find it interesting. Arkansas is struggling to get their NIL to where it needs to be. You got 2 schools in the state of Mississippi, and how is there enough for both in Mississippi? And
it's hard.
Can both prevail? Can both be successful simultaneously in a state like Mississippi?
Historically, it's been very difficult, and the donor list at State is very good. They got to get somebody to tap into it.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting this year. All right, Texas and OU in the league. I know you go. You're a U of A alum. For those that don't know, you go way back with Texas in this league. You go back.
It's hard to believe
OU
back
in the Orange Bowl.
Yeah.
I've got to hear your historical take on a day we've known has been coming for 3 years, but here we are at SEC Media Days with people running around with Longhorns on their hats.
I tell you how much I hate Texas. In my vote today, I voted them 16. I can't get over it. It goes way back. The single favorite day I had in college at the university was October 17th, 1981, 42-11 over Texas. Stormed the field afterwards, tore the goalpost down on the south end zone. They wouldn't let us get to the north end zone complex because that was too close to the locker room areas, as you guys know. And I think in the history of Razorback football, my opinion, #1 win ever was over OU in that Orange Bowl with everything going on, with the players suspended, and OU just #1 and going to cruise in that game to a championship. And also you got to remember in that game, in the bowl practices lead up, Arkansas had Leotis Harris and a defensive back, I think Patrick Matheny. They both got hurt, so essentially they played without 5 starters that night.
Yeah.
And just put it on OU, and it was glorious.
Now, freshman. That was a #2 Texas in '81, right? They were number 2.
They were #1.
They were number 1.
They'd beat OU the week before in Red River and came in just highly touted, and Arkansas jumped on them early and often won big. And that day, the weather was crazy. The beginning of the game was that weird kind of greenish sky, weird feeling. Too hot for October, and that big front moved in during the game. And thunderstorms, they'd stopped that game now 100 times, and played right on, and fantastic finish. And that night, I went home at a late hour, turned left down Maple, headed down Stadium Drive, and the south end zone scoreboard was still on at 4:30 in the morning, 42-11.
Brett Norsworthy with us here at WHBQ in Memphis, covers Ole Miss and deep Arkansas ties. You mentioned earlier you had Arkansas picked 12th of the 16 teams. Clearly, you don't think they're going to have the kind of year that Sam Pittman's hopeful for.
Well, I have them 6-6, and I could go to 7-5, and I could even maybe entertain the thought of 8-4. I don't go down low like some are fearing, 3-9, 4-8, something like that. Week 2 at Stillwater, as we all know, is really big, and that will be played in sun hotter than y'all have faced all week through these windows. And
I never had to wear suntan lotion for the show, but I have this week.
Yeah, and I think they'll beat Oklahoma State, and that will be big for the league. And in the league this year, if you ever wanted to chant SEC, you're going to have the loyalty. Week 1, Notre Dame and A&M. Week 2, Arkansas and Oklahoma State. Week 2, Texas at Michigan. And then at the end of the year, Florida and Florida State.
Now, that Texas-Michigan game is going to be nuts.
In Ann Arbor.
Yeah, that is going to be quite a game. Well, Stats, as we let you go here, we were kind of talking it before you came on. How do you see this SEC shaking out from here on out?
I think we stay at 16 for 2 or 3, 4 years, but it'll eventually change because the Big Ten's they're at 18, they're going to 19 or 20 or beyond, and we'll have to match them.
Here's what I hope happens. Let Clemson and Florida State go
Right.
somewhere else.
Remember, Florida State turned us down once.
Okay, and you don't need them. They don't help your footprint. ACC then goes the way of the Pac-12. Agree? Without those two, it's headed that direction.
Think so.
You finish it off by bringing North Carolina and Duke over as basketball schools. They don't add a lot to football, but it would make you the number one football and the number one basketball conference.
I like that, but there's so many
and
reports.
it adds a state to your footprint.
There's so many reports that the North Carolina legislature is not going to let North Carolina go it alone, that they're almost going to be boat anchored to NC State.
Wake Forest too, or just NC State?
Wake Forest potentially, and you see some stories of East Carolina. No thanks.
Pirates.
Well, they'll be on the ship of SS Irrelevant if,
will.
if their legislature forces that. Stats, it's always great to visit with you. Look forward to talking to you again, and go eat some great ribs in Memphis for us.
I will. Thank you, guys.
Rendezvous.
You got
it. A little rendezvous action. All right, Brett Norsworthy, U of A alum and covers Ole Miss with us here on the Morning Rush, live from Radio Row, presented by the Stadium Shop in Fayetteville, right next door to Baum-Walker Stadium, by WT Equipment. They've been earning the trust of great, hardworking people for more than 50 years. Find them online at WTEquip.com. And by the Lindbergh Real Estate Group, serving all of Northwest Arkansas, Missouri, and the River Valley. Get a cash offer on your home in 72 hours. Go to LindberghTeam.com for details.
So it's cool to touch on a variety of things that Brett I've never met someone that, outside of maybe Klay, that can snap to on a game, moment, or stats like he can, which is why his nickname Stats. But that 81, I mean, he almost took us back to 81 right there.
Now, that huge moment, and reliving the tearing down the goalpost, but that's up there, probably clearly a top five win probably in program history.
So that's a good illustration of why, like, watching games, obviously pre when he went to school, and listening to games, why kids like Brett, while he wasn't an athlete, want to go to the U of A. Arkansas needs that desperately, so some of these in-state kids will have that passion and desire to go to Arkansas. They simply haven't had it the last decade.
Well, you got your Gaston's White River Resort hat on. Brett told us before he came on, in November when he comes up for the Ole Miss game, he is going to stay a night or two at Gaston's. And he was saying, I don't fish. I've never fished. I'm going to skip that part. And I pleaded with him not to do that. Get a half-day guided fishing trip and let the experts. And he's the perfect example of someone that's like, I don't fish. I don't know anything about it. That's why you have the guides. It'd be like playing golf for the first time and you had Scotty Scheffler or Tiger Woods kind of giving you a lesson. That's what you get when you go to Gaston's. An expert guide takes care of everything. You get to see the beauty and the nature of the White River as you float up and down it. And you're not going to fish. I mean, we taught Ty how to catch fish in, an hour. You're going to catch fish when you go to Gaston's. 870-431-5202, Gaston's White River Resort. A first-class time. Every time.
Just say, Alexa, play ESPN Arkansas.
ESPN Arkansas from TuneIn.
This is Drew Morgan, and you're listening to The Morning Rush.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Home is everything. It's your sanctuary, your command center, your music room, and your art studio. It's where you eat family dinners and make lasting memories. When you use a Weichert agent to help you find your home, we'll help you find the space to make it yours. When you begin your search, know that a Weichert agent will be there with you every step of the way. Because at Weichert Realtors, we guide you home. To get started, call your local Weichert agent and look for our bright yellow signs all over town. At Weichert Realtors, we sell more because we do more. Each Weichert franchised office is independently owned and operated.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
Hey, this is Arkansas wide receiver Isaiah Satania, and you're listening to The Morning Rush.
The paint store in Van Buren is still the place to go to when doing the job right really matters. Our unique line of Richards paint products was chosen by me to perform for you. This is Sue, and my 35 years of experience ensures you get the right paint and the right color. That's important to you and me. Thank you for your support. Come see what I'm talking about. 1414 Fayetteville Road, The Paint Store, Van Buren.
Are you ready to indulge in an unforgettable fine dining experience? Then come join us at Uncorked, where every meal is a masterpiece, crafted with the finest ingredients to tantalize your taste buds. And with our extensive selection of cocktails, wine, craft beer, and bourbons, we've got something for everyone. So why not take a break from the ordinary and join us on Phoenix Avenue next to Sodi's? Come savor the moment with us at Uncorked, where every visit is a celebration.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's #1 mobile app for placing sports wagers.
In Arkansas, 7 out of every $10 placed on a sporting bet app is with Bet Saracen, because Bet Saracen offers more ways to win and more ways to get paid, and faster. Find your winners on Bet Saracen and look for my R prop bet specials. I pick them and you win them.
Bet Saracen is Arkansas's favorite sports wagering app.
Gambling problem? Call 800-522-4700.
AAA Business Systems is your printer, copier, and production print solutions provider. What makes AAA unique? Ricoh, Sharp, and Brother Equipment. Fast, friendly service from our office technology experts. All-inclusive service contracts, managed IT services, and 4 locations statewide. AAA Business Systems. Find us online at AAABM.com. AAA Business Systems. Anything else is just a copy.
If you knew all that Jody's Auto Service Centers can do for your vehicle and you'd never take your vehicle anywhere else.
My fleet is small, 14 trucks and cars. It's a struggle every day with parts, employees, and scheduling, but one thing I never worry about is vehicles. Jody's has special fleet pricing, special in and out service, or free shuttle and pickup and delivery service. And they do everything: service, repair, and maintenance. That makes my life much easier. All my vehicles go to Jody's.
Latest technology and highly trained technicians means we could do it all. From the most highly technical repairs to everyday oil change specials, tires, everything, even diesels. JodysAuto.com. Schedule free shuttle service or pickup and delivery. Get a tire quote, get financing. Jody's Auto Service Centers, voted best of the best by our customers year after year. We're your neighbors since 1984 with 3 full-service locations in Fort Smith and Van Buren. See for yourself at JODYSauto.com.
World-class trout fishing is the star of the show at Gaston's White River Resort, where a few days away from all the worries and stress will make all right in your world. Gaston's has friendly, experienced guides to help you land your limit. Enjoy your stay at Gaston's in one of their private cottages, or reserve a lodge for up to 20 people. Call now and let Gaston's help you plan your next getaway on the White River. 870-431-5202. That's 870-431-5202. Or learn more at Gastons.com. Gaston's, a first-class time, every time.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Arkansas football. It's the players running through the A. Hog hats. It's more than 70,000 fans calling Woo Pig Suey.
Yes, sir.
Guys, I've got just one thing I want to say to you. Touchdown, Arkansas!
This is your Hog Update on the Morning Rush. Brought to you by Mr. Sparky. Need a licensed electrician to service your home? For one of their local pros, call 888-8-SPARKY.
So Arkansas baseball got some good news reported by multiple outlets, including Hogbeat, that Carson Wiggins, the younger brother of Jackson Wiggins, who was drafted 68th by the Cubs, is coming to school. In addition to that, Gabe Frazier is also coming to Arkansas, California top 50 kid too. Again, Dave talked about they got hit in the draft pretty good last year. Two good signs for Arkansas baseball that they're getting some kids to school for this upcoming season.
Yep, and I had heard some news out of Roland yesterday when he didn't get it at a certain point, when they had broke past a certain point in the draft, they had made their mind up because I knew what the slot values were going to be. So good to hear that the Wiggins kid's coming, and obviously got connections with his family. They know what they're getting into, and it's a great situation. Always a great option when you're going to do no worse than play baseball for the Razorbacks.
Yeah, that was some good news for guys coming, good news for guys exiting, for Brady Tigert and Jake Faraday, who were both drafted yesterday. Faraday was drafted in the 11th by Miami, and then the Red Sox took Brady Tigert in the 12th round of yesterday's MLB draft. So congratulations to two more Razorback. I guess that's, 8 guys that were drafted overall for Arkansas baseball. So successful outing for Arkansas in the MLB draft. You were talking about, Tommy, Troon Golf Club yesterday in Scotland, and I know you guys are planning a little golf trip at some point. Arkansas's got a couple guys, Taylor Moore, Ollison, and John Daly, all participating this weekend. Starts tomorrow. We've been so focused here at Radio Row at SEC Media Days that haven't mentioned it a lot, but that starts tomorrow.
Yeah, I love the response Tiger Woods gave to Colin Montgomery, who suggested that Tiger should retire, that he looks like he's in not having any fun, and it just a disparaging remark from Colin Montgomery, who is one of the guys in golf I just cannot stand.
I don't even know,
he's a previous generation, but Ryder Cup, he was a real pain in the butt.
Oh, was he?
20 years ago. And so Tiger was asked about this yesterday. I wish we had the audio. He said, well, as a former champion, I am exempt until the age of 60, and since Colin is not a former champion and he's never won the Open Championship, he doesn't have the option to play in this event, and I'll play as long as I think, he gave us a great answer, but just, made sure he pointed out the fact that, hey, Colin Montgomery never won the biggest individual title you can probably win in Europe in golf, certainly in golf and maybe in all of sport. Next to a World Cup, it's probably the most important thing over there.
Tiger has so much respect. I've heard him talk about his respect for the Open Championship before, and Tommy, I'm going to be honest.
He says it's the greatest golf event in the world.
Yeah, you're the much more avid golf fan than I am, but I had no clue. Sometimes I have an idea of who someone is. When I saw that headline, Colin Montgomery, I had no clue who he was.
Well, he's a mouthy European that's over there. Anyway, he's not one of my favorite guys.
Is he across the pond? Okay. I don't really care what he says.
He's a B-lister, but be careful what you say when you're talking about the greatest of all time.
Yep. All right, last thing. This is a little bit U of A connected. Donald Bobbitt, I saw the head of the UA Systems is retiring. They have to fill that role by January 15th, or if someone fills that role before, I know there's a name or two out there that are expected possibly to get after that job. Again, you don't
national
hear that.
Search. They'll do it. That will be the words you'll hear. They'll conduct a national search.
You say, why are you bringing this up in your Hog Update? Well, this guy or gal, whoever they pick, is going to have an impact on potentially future hires with Arkansas.
Answers to the board, but final say on a lot of matters.
Yes.
So very influential. No, that's a good note because, and I don't think it's been a secret that he's going to retire, but always has final say in coaching hires, AD hires. Campus president's important, but this is who the campus president would answer to.
I would just
Charles Robinson in the case of Fayetteville, but not just Arkansas, all of the U of A system. So if you're in Fort Smith and UA Fort Smith or UA Monticello, or just go down the list of all their satellite campuses, he's kind of the final say.
I'm out on doing a job that I have to wear a suit all the time. Any of those type of jobs, I'm just automatically
I'm going to guess that your resume probably wouldn't meet the stipulations they have laid out for the job.
I got a degree from the university. It's a bachelor's. It's not a master's. But
I don't even know that a master's will get you this job.
All right, that's your Hog Update live from Radio Row, brought to you by our friends at Mr. Sparky.
You don't have to put up with any malarkey. Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Clay's set to join us in the next hour. He's been out of state on vacation, but he just sent both of us a screenshot of the radar back at home. Heavy rain, maybe some localized flooding going on in north central Arkansas. So we're here with the sun blinding us in Dallas, but really some I don't want to say severe weather, but some heavy rainfalls. In about 2 inches of rain is what Clay said has fallen over north central Arkansas in a very short amount of time.
I texted our friend Gary Thomas, who for Clay's 70th made him a Hog Tunes picture, and it's fantastic. It's got his father, the late Orville Henry, looking down from heaven. It's got Clay fishing. It's got Clay golfing. I think there's I don't have the pic in front of me. I think there's a Razorback insignia of some sort. But Gary did a great job. And I'm forgetting the origin of the Klay Henry bobblehead, but he did get a bobblehead as well, which if you haven't seen,
he already had one.
Is that something he had?
Attached to his neck. I mean, anyway.
Okay.
Should have saved that for when he was
Yeah,
on.
you kind of
He's
blew your load a little bit early on that one. We still got.
He's listening. I'll get a response.
Yeah, he'll do that. But I thought those were two cool things that I've seen the last 24 hours.
I'm
or
starting
so.
to get some texts. There's flooding in Yellville. They had 5 inches of rain in parts of north central Arkansas. I know this is radio, but City Park in Yellville flooded. So
that's not
for
good.
those listening in Marion County, Boone County, Baxter County, that part of the state, we're thinking of you. We'd take a little bit of cloud cover right now.
By the way,
we're at.
you played golf yesterday. How hot was? I'm playing on Friday afternoon. How hot was it?
I went out after work yesterday. It was like 4:30 when I got to Stevens Park. And it was warm. And I'm going to tell you, the ground was so dry, I thought I was going to need a hammer to drive the tee in the ground. Their tee boxes were bricks.
I was telling you were asking me about the course, and that's where, again, a lot of my Dallas friends play, and it's just
it's okay.
Yeah, it's not the best, but I was curious how hot it was yesterday.
It was warm.
Did you work out too, or just golf?
I just golfed.
Okay,
that was my workout.
I gave you credit. I told Ruskin and Zach yesterday that
trust me, I got plenty of a sweat in out there. But before sunset,
you lose all that water weight. I'll tell you what, man. It is if you look at my body right now, I have the biggest golf tan. I mean, you should see what my shorts above look like relative to the rest.
I'll pass.
You're welcome to at some point in time. All right, we got
hard no.
Hour 3, like Tommy said. Clay is going to join us, which is a surprise because I didn't think he was going to today. So it's a good surprise. So Clay's going to join us.
Bonus.
Yeah, a bonus of sorts. So we'll get a chance to talk with Klay Henry again live from Radio Row at SEC Media Days. We got a chance to talk with our friend Larry Rath of Rath Auto Resources yesterday, and I always love catching up with Larry. One of the unique things that they have in the Mighty Key Car Care Center, it's like the old-fashioned feel, right? You remember we used to go to a car repair shop and you'd sit down and there'd be just kind of old, historic-looking things ready. Well, they've kind of rebuilt that in Springdale and in Fort Smith. So not only are you going to get that great service that Larry and David have built up over the years, but it's going to take you back in time, which, trust me, it was fun. It was more fun going to a car repair shop than it is now. So again, Rath Auto Resources in Fort Smith and Rath Mitsubishi in Springdale. And Hour 3 coming up next.
APAC Arcola and Standard Materials Group has immediate openings in the Northwest Arkansas area. If you're a licensed CDL driver, heavy equipment operator, electrician, diesel mechanic, have paving or concrete labor experience, or experience in a quarry, apply today at jobs.crh.com. APAC offers top pay, a sign-on bonus, benefits including insurance, retirement, and profit sharing. Apply online today at jobs.crh.com. APAC Arcola and Standard Materials Group is an equal opportunity employer.
Work now, pay
later with sizzling savings at WT Equipment. No money down, no interest, and no payments until 2025 on select New Holland equipment. Choose 0 for 60 or up to 10,000 cash back plus free net wrap on roll belt round balers. 0 for 72 or up to 10,000 cash back on mid-range tractors, or 0 for 72 plus an additional 2,000 cash back on a new compact. Work smarter with no money down, no interest, and no payments on your choice of the summer's hottest deals. At WT Equipment, your partner in progress.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Home is everything. It's your sanctuary, your command center, your music room, and your art studio. It's where you eat family dinners and make lasting memories. When you use a Weichert agent to help you find your home, we'll help you find the space to make it yours. When you begin your search, know that a Weichert agent will be there with you every step of the way. Because at Weichert Realtors, we guide you home. To get started, call your local Weichert agent and look for our bright yellow signs all over town. At Weichert Realtors, we sell more because we do more. Each Weichert franchised office is independently owned and operated.
This is The Morning Rush.
Do you need help with your next project? Metters Lumber True Value is here to help. A family-owned business since 1936, the staff has more than 90 years of experience in construction and the hardware business. If they don't have what you need, they know how to get it, and they are more than happy to accommodate your special order. So whether it's building a new deck, a paint project around the house, or needing a new set of tools, Metters Lumber True Value has everything you need. With locations in Alma, Ozark, and Clarksville, and you can shop online at metterslumber.com. Metters Lumber True Value.
Let's see. Leaky faucet Tuesday. Water flooding the yard. Better put that down for the middle of the month when the bills aren't due.
Honey, what are you doing?
Planning our plumbing problems, of course.
You can't plan our plumbing problems, but you should plan our plumber.
What do you mean?
Like all important contacts, I keep Westark Plumbing in my phone. They're always there when we need them, and they don't overcharge since they know we don't plan our plumbing problems. Here, honey, here's their number.
646-5151. Thanks, babe.
Westark Plumbing. We keep you flowing.
Are you an angler having trouble finding all the bait, tackle, and more for your fishing needs? Make a Wake Bait and Tackle, now located in Fort Smith next to Witz Marine on North 11th Street, is your place. Make a Wake Bait and Tackle also has the largest selection of plastics in the River Valley. Reactor Innovation, Bobby Garland, Zoom, Mega Bass, and more. Check out the Daiwa Rod and Reels. Make a Wake Bait and Tackle, 803 North 11th Street in Fort Smith, 479-926-9320. Also get your rod and reels repaired. Come see us next to Witz Marine at Make a Wake Bait and Tackle.
Presented by Sharp Equipment. Get hooked on Sharp Equipment this year. Sharp Equipment has hooked up with Eastern Oklahoma Guide Service for a free guided fishing trip with the purchase of any Wacker Newson equipment. Along with getting a superior piece of equipment, you will get hooked up with a free guided fishing trip for the chance at a catch of a lot.
This video is powered by the pros at Pascal Air Plumbing and Electric. Arkansas owned, Arkansas operated. GoPascal.com.
Thanks for watching us here on ESPN Arkansas. Download the brand new Hit That Line Now app in the Apple and Google Play stores. ESPN Arkansas, more than just radio stations.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
A dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacale.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sacale, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
BetOnline is your number one source for all your sports betting needs this season. From baseball, golf, soccer, right to all the top fights in UFC, MMA, and boxing. Every stat, every matchup, and even live odds and spreads while the games are being played. When the game's over, head over to our online casino and get in on a game of blackjack or poker or unwind with one of our over 150 slots games. Head to the website today to get in on the action. Use promo code BELIEVE for your 50% free bet credit on your first deposit up to $250. Bet online. The game starts here.
This song hit number 2 without one guitar. Gary Wright traveled with George Harrison to India for spiritual enlightenment and wrote Dream Weaver, describing God as infinite love and compassion, seeing him through the trials of the night. Of the 330 million gods of Hinduism, not one will get you to the morning light, but only through the blood of Jesus Christ. Satan is a master deceiver, weaving many into make-believers. I'm Pastor Eve from Woodland. Think about it.
Hey, ESPN 96.3 and hitthatline.com. Have you been to Swark Liquor? Trey Gentry and his team have a phenomenal spot. It's the first liquor stop in Arkansas for our Dallas and Texas fans traveling up to the hill. So if you're heading to Fayetteville, the lake, a cabin weekend, hunting, fishing, or any other activity you need your favorite drink, stop by Swark Liquor. And check out their apparel too. You'll want to wear it. Swark Liquor, 864 East Collin Ray Drive into Queen, Arkansas. Swark Liquor, we promise to keep them cold for you.
Season, and our guys embrace that. I mean, as coaches, you want to play the best, and people forget that when you spent time in the NFL, every week was like that. So when Texas and Oklahoma came into the conference, every schedule was going to get harder. It wasn't going to get easier; it was going to get harder. And we embrace that. We look forward to it, and excited for the challenge to go to some really tough places.
Hey, this is Darren McFadden, and you're listening to the Morning Rush.
Live from the Busch Light Studios.
Heard all across ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com.
Hit that line.
This is the Morning Rush with Ty Richardson, Tommy Kraft, and Chuck Barrett.
You're in need of a serious attitude adjustment, young man. You better get your priorities straight.
Produced by Christian Johnston.
In spite of the juvenile snickers of some, this is a serious matter.
Good morning, gentlemen. Let me rephrase that. You got two gentlemen. You got one ain't earned it yet, has he?
You don't need to wear a ball cap, man. You need to let those golden locks flow.
It's
Well, the ball cap is on this morning, and that's partially due to the sun that's been shining brightly on us the last couple of days.
Yep.
I mean, usually I'm a fan of sunrises, Tommy, and they feel peaceful, they feel serene. But as you can see from those watching our live stream, and as we've dealt with the first 2 days, I mean, we could not be more in the center of the sun, rising from about 7 a.m. to 9 each and every morning.
Well, there's not a lot of sunshine with the next guy we're talking about. Not his disposition, but his location in North Central Arkansas. We'll talk to Klay Henry in just a minute. Live at a Radio Row. Apparently, North Central Arkansas getting hammered with rain. We're in Dallas where it's 114 degrees. And the sun in these windows that we're facing out of the Omni is blinding. Here in the morning hour. All of our coverage from Radio Row brought to you by the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville. You can shop online at shoponrazorback.com. By WT Equipment, your New Holland dealer for over 50 years. They're your partner in progress. Online at WTEquip.com. And by the Limbird Real Estate Group. Get a cash offer on your home in 72 hours for all your real estate needs. Go to LimbirdTeam.com. Well, I mentioned the heat. If golf is something you want to do, but you don't want to battle the heat, Ty in Northwest Arkansas, you've got the place with Cart Path Social. You play indoors and play your favorite courses, including the Open Championships location this week in Royal Troon.
Yeah, that's a cool part. Nate, my buddies Nate and Christian Olsen are about that. I've known those guys since we were in school, and they've actually done something with their lives, unlike me. So Cart Path Social is located.
You're working with me and Klay.
Well, yeah, that's a good point. Saying you get a chance to work with Klay, Chuck, you, Derek. Derek got offended yesterday when I didn't mention him. But back to Cart Path Social again. It located in Lowell, 122 Grant Place. You can give Christian and Nate a call at 479-619-9750. Make sure you mention ESPN Arkansas. Do not ask them about some of the things that I may or may not have done in college. Instead, take advantage of some awesome bays. It's $50 a bay. It's not $50 a person. It's $50 a bay. You can have up to 8 golfers per bay. BYOB, not just alcohol, but food as well. So you're not spending like $20, $30 additionally. I mean, this is a really cost-effective venture, and they've done a great job. You don't have to wear golf attire. If you want to, you're more than welcome, but it's awesome. Again, 479-619-9750 or cartpasssocial.com. They're open Monday through Friday from 9 to 9, Saturday a.m. for the early ones from 7 to 9, and then Sunday from 12 to 9. It's Cart Path Social.
I have just one question for you. Are you ready?
I'm ready for this my whole life.
Here he is.
Hey, Klay Henry.
Well, it's been 3 weeks since we played that intro, man. We had 4th of July off. Then last week you were on your trip, and it's good to have you back with us here at Radio Road SEC Media Days.
Yeah, I'm glad to be back. It's just so you know, Ty, if you don't want someone to ask about your college days, don't ask.
It's probably probably a good piece.
I mean, that's alert. Oh, we should ask. Oh,
it's probably a good piece of advice. Well,
Klay, tell me what.
Just let a sleeping dog lie.
You sent us this picture of the radar, and we've kind of been, in this rabbit hole at SEC Media Days, locked in our own bubble down here. But man, this is a nasty looking front. I mean, it's more than that. That just basically covers from north of Springfield down past Hot Springs with some heavy rains. I got some video during the break of some flooding in Yellville and Marion County that doesn't look good at all.
Yeah, I've got a friend in lives over at Rim Shoals, and he posted this morning that they'd had 5 inches in that Beaufort area. That is Baxter County, but that's just across the river from Marion County. Marion County is taking the brunt of it, and you would expect that Crooked Creek in the Buffalo will be flowing into the White. So there's going to be some problems there with high water. I don't think it's going to be serious on the White, but never know. I mean, we're not through with it. I mean, what's still to come is massive. And it's rained all night here. My power's been on and off. I mean, it's a intense lightning storm.
Yeah.
They've had mudslides on Denton Ferry Road. I don't think you can go north of like Wildcat Shoals on Denton Ferry Road because of mudslides. So it's a mess.
Well,
and it's gonna continue for probably through noon.
Yeah. Well, from southern Missouri down to Hot Springs. Hope everyone is careful out there today. Texas Longhorns in the house. Probably a good thing you're there in Norfolk and not with us, as their contingent has been here. Not the school, but their media contingent's been here all week. And Steve Sarkisian this afternoon, the final to speak. Texas, it's all become real. We've known for 3 years, but it's all become real here today, Klay, at SEC Media Days.
Yeah. So I've thought about this in the last week or so a little more heavily. So I was coming back from Wyoming Sunday and Monday. So SEC Media Days in Dallas. Just soak that in. And so what does this mean for Arkansas? And I think the reality of it is that it's a welcome mat put out for the Razorbacks to recruit Texas the way they should have been for the last 30 years. And for some reason, we just haven't had, the presence recruiting enough coaches there, enough coaches that understand that part of the, the country, that part of the SEC now. Yeah. And, so in week 2, Razorbacks are going to go to Stillwater and play what could be the preseason favorite in the Big 12. I mean, they got the most players coming. Look at that roster. And I was talking with Phil Elson yesterday, and I said I think they've got 50 players from Texas on their roster.
Wow.
So, but that's what they've been doing, and that's what Mike Gundy's been doing. That's what Oklahoma Sooners are doing. They're recruiting Texas, and why Arkansas Kenoy Kennedy was. I mean, it just doesn't make any sense why Arkansas coaches the last 25 years. Is doing media days in Dallas, and I mean it's just the publicity that's being generated with Texas coming into the league. Just you got to go there. You got and if everybody's like, well, how's Arkansas going to make a comeback? How are they going to build up? There's the answer, and it's not when we play Oklahoma State. It's going to be obvious.
Yeah, Clay, to your point, I just looked it up. 247 three-star players are better in the state of Texas. Now, I don't know how many of those are directly from Dallas, but it's not just the Dallas area. It's
Houston.
Well, I mean,
I just laid it out. All you have to do is hit US 59. It's not that far from Fayetteville. You get to Texarkana, and you can go 20 miles either way and just stay. You can just put coaches on the road through there in a van and just go to school after school after school. Yeah. And you think about, well, Danny Ford, when he came to Arkansas, he said he thought there would be 6 high SEC players a year from the state of Arkansas, and you had to go somewhere else, to get the other 16, 17, 18. There's where you go.
Yep. And what did he do? He went and got a guy named Clint Sterner,
Baytown.
Beaumont, that US 59, all the way down.
Yeah, I think about my buddy Sparky Hamilton. That was someone Houston Nutt went
You're
after.
Preaching to the choir.
I mean, so and we're leaving out dozens more, but those are just 2 that immediately come to mind from that era you're talking about. And I mean, Greg Sankey spoke at the beginning that they had a desire to bring SEC Media Days to Dallas or possibly Houston. They've looked at other locations. I don't think we're done in the state of Texas with this event. I don't think the next one will be in Dallas. I think it will be Houston or San Antonio or some other market that makes sense.
Well, Dallas is too easy to get to. It's too easy.
And that's one of the stipulations is the accessibility through the airport. Houston's almost on that same level.
Yeah.
You can get a nonstop flight from about anywhere or one connection flight to Houston. But
so where are y'all? Where are y'all located?
We're at the Omni. We're right in smack dab downtown Dallas. And I look for more of these type of events and possibly conference basketball tournaments. I know the anchor is Nashville, but I think they'll have more neutral site conference-based events in the state of Texas because they understand this is the 3rd largest city now in the United States, third largest metro area, I should say.
And it's a mega football area.
Oh, huge. And Sankey was talking about the alumni here, Clay. Obviously, Atlanta, Birmingham, Nashville, huge SEC alumni base, but I mean, my brother lives here. He's got friends from Bama. He's got friends from Tennessee. He's got friends from all the SEC schools. This is like we're saying, a huge SEC hub too.
Yeah, I mean, you just go back to when Brett Bielema was coach and he spoke at the state high school coaches association, and he was like, he was kind of thumbing his nose at. It's, like if you're not playing with the fullback, we're gonna. I don't remember the comment, but it's like it. Yeah, but and everybody is playing, spread football in Texas, and it was, kind of a spread from, or kind of matriculated from what Chad Morris was doing. So you don't do things like that. And it not have an effect. And I just think that whoever you've got needs to be focused in Texas in a bigger way than what Arkansas has since they've come into the SEC.
Yeah.
Other than Houston Nutt.
And it's going to be more of a challenge, obviously, with Texas A&M. Oklahoma's going to get theirs, LSU. But I think it brings more, like you said, visibility to this league. So
just like what y'all are doing this week. They're making it easy for Arkansas, and I know that there is some emphasis there, so it's not like they've ignored it, but it's not, whether you got 9 coaches, 10 coaches on staff, I forget what it is, but every one of them needs to have part of East Texas.
Don't disagree with that. So let's talk about Sam Pitman. He'll be here tomorrow. We'll get a chance to visit with you. He'll be here in about 24 hours. Clay, anyone that's around it and paid attention knows he's going to get questions about his job, his security, his future. How do you think he handles those questions when they come up?
Well, he answers it by saying we're focused on winning. I mean, and that's all you can do. I mean, I guarantee you he knew it as they were going through last year that 2024 was a massive year if he wants to be a head coach. And this is his chance. And I think they're better. I think they're better in the offensive line. And, that's where I always start. And I think they're going to be good at quarterback. And I like their offensive coordinator. I've spent an hour and a half with him 2 weeks ago. Some of that stuff is starting to kind of pop at Hogs Plus. And I feel like he's had his hands on the offense, on what they've done. And he talked about the wide receiver group that he's put together. And I think there's 4 that run, 10-2, 10-3. You're talking about Jarius Wright, Joe Adams type speed.
Mm-hmm.
That's been missing. Matt Jones has talked about that, on our station over and over. What is the difference? It's from when he played. It's the athletic ability. It's the speed at wide receiver. It's at defensive back. I think this is a faster team, and it's more equipped to play in the SEC. We'll see, what the depth holds up. I think they've got more depth. If you don't have depth right now with the portal, it means you're not trying. And I think that, they do look like a better SEC team to me. I watched all the scrimmages in person, focused on the line play. I think they were more physical in the spring. They've stressed toughness. Is this the best Arkansas team, in the last 32 years? I'm not going to say that, but they're better than they were last year.
Let me ask you about running backs, Clay, because 3 of your 4 running backs are transfer players. You had some movement following the spring. I think a lot of people think Jaquindon Jackson probably is number 1 on that list, followed by DeBinion, and then somewhere Rodney Hill and Braylon Russell fit in, and Russell being the true freshman out of Benton. Are they experienced enough? Are they deep enough at running back at Arkansas this year?
Yeah, I think that's one of the strongest positions on the team as far as depth. And Bobby, when we talked about the challenge was to go through the 2 deep, and he says I'm going to talk about, I think he said 6, and he likes the speed. He compared a couple of those new guys to Dennis Johnson. In other words, the speed and the quickness and the playmaking ability. And we'll see about Russell, the freshman. He said he's somewhere over 250, and has speed. And he says he can catch it, and you can throw the deep ball to him. Well, he's the way he started talking about him. It sounded like a combination of Broderick, I'm going blank.
Broderick Green.
Yeah, and Ronnie Wingo. Somebody you're going to throw the wheel route to, because he's going to be matched on a linebacker in man-to-man coverage, and they're going to, I think Bobby is as good as anybody at dreaming up matchups and then getting them and then executing in games. Hard to tackle, and I know that he likes his quarterback. He picked him out and then went and got him with Frank Fletcher. And if you don't think that's part of the equation with Bobby, yeah, I mean, am I right?
They have a great personal relationship.
Yeah, and he says, and he doesn't care if he goes through edge or not. He's gonna give Bobby the ability to go find some players.
Well, and that may ring true for the future at Arkansas. And,
sure.
And going back to when Bobby Petrino spoke at the Little Rock Touchdown Club, he mentioned Frank Fletcher in that relationship.
Frank brought him there, in Basel.
Yeah. So I mean, anyone that knows that dynamic knows how important that is as a piece of your NIL future. So.
Yeah, I'm probably higher on this team than everybody else. And I've talked to some people in the media that's like, and I said, well, did you go watch practice? Did you watch the scrimmages? And all of those people will, if
And
those,
they
didn't go, and it's work for me to go watch a scrimmage, but I was there for all the snaps. I wanted to see how Bobby was running the offense and how engaged he was, and how it was working. And I talked to Travis Williams about that. So this is interesting. Did you know Travis Williams was a player when Bobby Petrino was on staff at Auburn?
Isn't that wild?
And then he was a player
Falcon,
when Bobby
right?
Petrino was head coach at Atlanta.
Yeah. I remember that connection. So
yeah.
Hey, guys, this weekend, the 52nd annual Ben Guerin 4-Ball is coming up the 20th and 21st this weekend. They'll have practice round on Friday. We're getting rain. We're getting cooler weather. It's going to be a great weekend for golf. There's a tee price for each participant. Shotgun start both days. I mentioned the practice round Friday, competitive round Saturday and Sunday. Lunch, range balls, it's all there. There's only 36 teams in the field. They got a few spots left. It's $200 per player for the 3 rounds, cart, tee prize, everything that you need is included in that $200 per person entry fee. If you'd like to play in the Ben Guerin 4-Ball, call the Pro Shop 479-646-5301. They'll get you signed up for this weekend. 646-5301, Ben Guerin. Let's go play. It's also a What's Your Beef Wednesday. It's brought to you by your favorite people, Clay, over at Richards Country Meat Market. One of my beefs right now is the uniforms last night at the All-Star Game. Did you watch any of this? They were
I watched
hideous.
all of it.
And
I guess I didn't have that feeling. I'm used to this kind of stuff popping up at the All-Star Game. They have been like this for several years, and it just reminded me of like watching the Padres and the Astros play.
Yeah, that's exactly
what I
Bobby
said. It looked like the 1980s Padres.
It's so here's the thing, Tommy. That's what they wanted you to say.
Yeah.
That's what they wanted. They wanted
Mission
you to
accomplished.
notice. But I didn't turn it off because of those uniforms.
Yeah.
And
no, I didn't either, but they weren't my favorite. All right,
Yeah.
You're grilling this weekend. Get over to Richards Country Meat Market, the best selection. Clay loves it at Richards Country Meat Market.
I absolutely do.
Quality, value, you'll find it all there. The best meat in town, Richards Country Meat Market, online at richardscountrymeatmarket.com.
All right, when we return, again, more from Radio Row live at SEC Media Days in Dallas, Texas at the Omni Hotel. Stay with us here on ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com.
ESPN Arkansas is kicking off college football live from Radio Row in Dallas, Texas at SEC Media Days. Our shows provide insight on player and coach interviews, including special moments throughout the entire week. Make sure to tune in to the Morning Rush, Halftime, and Ruskin and Zach to get this unique coverage presented by the Stadium Shop on Razorback, WT Equipment, and Limbird Real Estate Group.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Home is everything. It's your sanctuary, your command center, your music room, and your art studio. It's where you eat family dinners and make lasting memories. When you use a Weichert agent to help you find your home, we'll help you find the space to make it yours. When you begin your search, know that a Weichert agent will be there with you every step of the way. Because at Weichert Realtors, we guide you home. To get started, call your local Weichert agent and look for our bright yellow signs all over town. At Weichert Realtors, we sell more because we do more. Each Weichert franchised office is independently owned and operated.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
He struck him out swinging. This is historic. You've never seen anything like this before.
This is the Morning Rush.
Waiting on someone to bale your hay? Come in to Gray Brothers Equipment and let us show you how affordable only your own Kubota hay equipment can be. Bale your hay when it's ready, not when it's burned up. With economical pricing at Gray Brothers and affordable interest rates from Kubota, this year is the year to bale your own hay. That's Gray Brothers Equipment in Fort Smith and Poto, where if you pick orange, you'll never get a lemon.
We're back with the action. Coke Zero Sugar might be the best Coke ever.
That's right, Jim. With an irresistible taste and zero sugar, Coke Zero Sugar is a must-try for any sports fan. So make sure you... Wait, Jim, I didn't mean try it right now. We're still on the air.
Best Coke ever? Take a taste, Jen.
Really?
No, not right now, Jen. We got a game to call.
Sometimes I'm in a hurry. Stay in the slow lane, buddy. That's when I use the Sodies app to order my favorites and pick up in their drive-thru. They even offer a 10% discount on your first app order. Experience different at Sodies Wine and Spirits off I-540 on Phoenix Avenue.
Every day is worth celebrating at Uncorked. Cocktails, wine, craft beer, bourbons, and unbelievably great food. Uncorked on Phoenix Avenue next to Sodies.
This is a public service announcement for hard seltzer lovers. Neutral Vodka Seltzer has arrived. Made with simple ingredients like vodka, seltzer, and real juice. Neutral tastes good. Like real good. So good that you'll never want to drink another artificial tasting seltzer again. Neutral's light and refreshing taste will show you what a vodka seltzer can be. Try Neutral, the one with the umlaut. Copyright 2023 Neutral Distilled Spirit Specialty, Los Angeles, California. Enjoy responsibly.
Patriot Transport wants to thank their drivers for their hard work and dedication. The local and over-the-road drivers are essential to the Patriot Transport mission. Day in and day out, Patriot Transport drivers are on the road striving for safety and success. To the behind-the-scenes dispatch and office employees, Patriot Transport thanks them as well for the hard work they put in day and night. If you want to be a part of the Patriot Transport family, visit patriottransport.com. Patriot Transport is located in Danville, Arkansas.
This ad is for the paint store in Van Buren. I doubt you thought paint was anything like football, right? So for football, you need a team. For painting, you might need a primer, the perfect color, maybe a top coat, and bug juice to keep the spiders and bugs away, right? So it takes a team of products to make the winning paint job. The right place for that is in Van Buren at the paint store, and the right place for certified grass-fed beef from M&M Farms in Rudy. That's right, all at 1414 Fayetteville Road in Van Buren.
Hi, everybody. Larry Rath here for Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center with the exciting news. Backed by popular demand, state sales tax paid when you trade on our huge inventory of road-ready certified vehicles. That's right. This month, get the best used car your money can buy, road-ready certified with warranty, and get your state sales tax paid when you trade. One more reason all the happiest drivers are rolling with Rath. Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, just north of Phoenix on Towson, Fort Smith.
This is Daryl Johnston with Hashtag Managed IT Services. We are excited to now be part of AAA Business Systems. Hashtag will continue to handle every IT need your business will have, and now, as part of AAA Business Systems, we can handle all of your document printing and storage solutions. Together, we have the expertise to meet all of your office technology needs. Find us online at aaabm.com or call us at 471-1771.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Hey, this is SEC Commissioner Greg Sankey, and you're listening to The Morning Rush.
Like that. Say goodbye. Darren McFadden, 80 yards, touchdown. The Gimme the Hogs Chuck podcast every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Brought to you by Weichert Realtors, the Griffin Company. You can listen to it at hitthatline.com or wherever you hear your favorite podcasts.
All right, back here live on Radio Road SEC Media Days. Thanks to our friends at the Stadium Shop on Razorback, WT Equipment, and Lindbergh Real Estate Team. There's a huge crowd, Tommy, behind us as they are circling like crows around new Alabama coach Kalen DeBoer. Jeff Lebby, a Mississippi State coach, is also here. We'll get a chance to hear from him today. And it's Sark, and who's the other one? There's one more. I'm forgetting who the last one is.
Florida, Billy Napier.
Florida, Bill Napier. So those are the guys on the docket today. We'll talk about that, but there were some interesting comments made by Kirby Smart, who I think is the face of the league right now based on the track record. And I want to get into those coming up with Klay in just one sec.
Hey, we're brought to you by Arkansas Golf and Power Sports. When I needed a golf cart to have my own, personalized experience each and every time, Arkansas Golf and Power Sports, the convenience of having your own cart can't be matched because you don't have to take your clubs on and off. You don't have to put them in and out of your trunk. You don't have to worry about club storage at your club. You don't have to worry about your range finders and speakers and all those things when you when you use a cart at the club or the course you play at every time. That's the beauty of having your own. Plus, you can customize it with the colors you want, with the type of seats, wheels, tires, lights, sound. I mean, really, your imagination is the only limit to what they can do for you. And if you say, well, I'm not into golf, but I live in a subdivision and I see these carts all the time, they've got a variety to pick from at Arkansas Golf and Power Sports in Northwest Arkansas. They also have a location in Fayetteville. They have gas and lithium options or battery options, including the 8-year warranty on the lithium batteries. And they have American-made easy-go golf carts. So if you're looking for one for your neighborhood or your golf course, Arkansas Golf and Power Sports is where I went, and I'd recommend it's where you go as well. 2733 North McConnell Avenue in Fayetteville. Take the Garland exit, just whichever way you're coming, north or south. Go the opposite way of Sam's and the auto park, and you'll see McConnell. Turn right at the light. They're right there behind the rental place in that retail shopping center. That's Arkansas Golf and Power Sports, and online at arpowersports.com.
Klay, we know there's been a lot of incidents in Athens and Atlanta, Georgia, involving the Bulldogs football program. And Kirby Smart was asked about the car stuff, but he also brought up something interesting in the non-big room, and I think it was electronic media, on the idea of fining players. To my knowledge, it's the first time I've heard a coach in college talk about this. What do you think about the prospect of not just him doing it, but other college football coaches fining players?
Well, and just to clarify, Klay, it's the collective that hands out the money that's actually doing the fining, but you know that the coach has a hand in it.
Well, it's pretty obvious if a guy gets arrested, the coach doesn't even have to call the collective director. He's got it. And, you've got, standard fines for not paying your parking tickets. And then, then if you're going over 100 miles an hour, it's a couple of grand and goes up from there. I'm joking. But if players are making money, that's been the best way to control it. I think that's the thing that when you talk to somebody that's playing minor league baseball, the first thing they mention is like, man, you get fined. And I said, what do you mean you get fined? He says, you get fined for missing a sign. You get fined for hitting into double plays. You get fined for balks. It's like, well, why not? I mean, if these guys are making money, hit them where it hurts the most. And it's like when I was in high school, we had incentives. We had road games. This is Little Rock Central, and if you didn't do something right, you didn't get dessert. And it's those apple pies, they're meaningful. Tom.
Well, Tommy, what was yours? Your dad obviously played at Ouachita Baptist, and it was Buddy Bob Bibson that took away everyone's car.
Yeah, like when you showed up, if you were lucky enough to have a car back in the early 70s, your keys went in the desk drawer while they were going through two-a-days.
Yeah. I think Mike Leach took all their cell phones away one time at not Mississippi State, at Washington State. And, he might stop you from seeing your fat girlfriend, too.
Oh, man, the colorful Mike Leach. I did find it interesting. Eli Drinkwitz basically opened his press conference, Klay. I don't know if you had a chance to catch it, but he was just basically petitioning, and I'm forgetting the COO of the College Football Hall of Fame, but he was just like, yeah, Leach deserves to be in. He was pretty straightforward about that and laid out why.
I think that'll happen.
Yeah. It sure sounds like, based on the comments he recently made to The Athletic, that there's going to be that is going to happen, Klay.
Yeah, and it's like, is it Les Miles that's got or who is it?
Yes, Miles had some vacated wins. He's opened up litigation.
Yeah.
Yeah, and when you're talking about vacated stuff, I'm a big fan of putting those national championships back on the flag at Arkansas that John McDonnell had stripped away. I mean, that's like, this is now that we don't have any of those kind of rules. So it's
No, I agree, because then it makes a level playing field historically and moving
if
forward.
Reggie Bush is getting his Heisman Trophy back, let's go through things.
Great way to put it. Hey, we're brought to you by Kevin Hickey and Brad Hull and the Hickey and Hull Law Partners. 4 locations in Arkansas. They're in Little Rock, they're in Mena, they're in Fort Smith, and, of course, Northwest Arkansas as well. Family law is one of their specialties, but they can help you with a variety of areas. They got over 7 decades of combined experience, whether it's a criminal or civil matter, business matter. Their experience can go to work for you, aggressively representing you from your corner. 479-434-2414. Just one number to call to set up a consultation in any of their offices. 479-434-2414, or go to kevinhickeylaw.com.
All right, one more segment with our buddy Klay Henry. It's our SEC update. It's pretty easy to do considering we're live from Radio Row SEC Media Days in Dallas, Texas. Soon to hear from Alabama head coach Kalen DeBoer and hear from us in one more segment coming up.
Streaming live from
HitThatLine.com. This is Chuck Barrett, the voice of the Razorbacks, and you're listening to The Morning Rush.
The best selection of RVs is now even better at Wheels RV in Springdale. Wheels RV has added Brinkley RVs to the already loaded lineup of Grand Design and Forest River products. See the Brinkley Model Z, the latest innovation in luxury fifth wheels. And like always, every new RV comes with a lifetime warranty, so you can camp with confidence. So stop in and find out why Wheels has been voted best RV dealer year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Home is everything. It's your sanctuary, your command center, your music room, and your art studio. It's where you eat family dinners and make lasting memories. When you use a Weichert agent to help you find your home, we'll help you find the space to make it yours. When you begin your search, know that a Weichert agent will be there with you every step of the way. Because at Weichert Realtors, we guide you home. To get started, call your local Weichert agent and look for our bright yellow signs all over town. At Weichert Realtors, we sell more because we do more. Each Weichert franchised office is independently owned and operated.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
You guys are the best. This is The Morning Rush.
Are you looking for a great deal on a previously owned vehicle but want to avoid high-pressure sales? If so, you need to visit Edwards Auto Sales in Roland. For over 30 years, Ernie Edwards and his staff have helped folks from Arkansas and Oklahoma River Valley buy a quality vehicle and offer a buy here, pay here program as part of their services. Some restrictions may apply. Come visit Edwards Auto Center newly remodeled facility, 3 miles west of the Garrison Bridge, the first car dealer on your right, or log on at edwardsautosalesinc.com.
Clogs? Nobody wants a clog. West Ark Plumbing knows that clogs are a serious issue. They can signal that bigger problems are on the way. So contact West Ark Plumbing while the problem is small. Slow shower and sink drain, gurgling toilets, and outside cleanouts making a mess? Call 479-646-5151 today. West Ark Plumbing and expert drain cleaning since 1993. They keep you flowing. If you have slow drains or high water bills, call West Ark Plumbing and expert drain cleaning service. 646-5151.
The Wave Rural Connect Shoal Creek Zone is open. Fast fiber internet, TV, and home phone available. This covers Midway, New Blaine, Scranton, Delaware, and other areas. Even if this isn't your zone, check your address. We might be available for you. Get your whole home solution. Internet, TV, and phone from a local provider. Go to signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
This ad is for the paint store in Van Buren. I doubt you thought paint was anything like football, right? So for football, you need a team. For painting, you might need a primer, the perfect color, maybe a top coat, and bug juice to keep the spiders and bugs away, right? So it takes a team of products to make the winning paint job. The right place for that is in Van Buren at the paint store, and the right place for certified grass-fed beef from M&M Farms in Rudy. That's right, all at 1414 Fayetteville Road in Van Buren.
Man, I wish I knew you were here. We hear that every day at In Stock Parts, located off Highway 45 across from the cold storage in Fort Smith. Are you a maintenance technician, landscaper, farmer, or a do-it-yourselfer in need of bearings, belts, or roller chain? Or safety supplies like gloves, safety glasses, or earplugs? Maybe you need drill bits, tap and die sets, lubricants, or even a gas-powered pump or generator. Don't waste your time driving around. Stop by In Stock Parts, your industrial parts resource, or check them out online at InStockParts.com. In Stock Parts.
Colorworks Paint and Body in Barling offers professional automotive painting, bodywork, and fabrication that is unsurpassed in talent and dedication. Owner Andy Harrod uses the latest in collision repair technology to ensure all damage is addressed, whether it's visible or hidden, and works with all insurance companies. Andy and his crew have the experience and commitment to give you complete trust in the repair of your vehicle, no matter the size of the job. Colorworks is located at 1206 Fort Street in Barling, across from Dollar General, and is on Facebook, where you can check out their work.
Hey, this is Ty Richardson for Jake Neal and his team at Jerry Neal's Barbecue. Jake's dad, Jerry, started cooking barbecue at Jerry Neal's in 1977, and Jake took over and has been doing the same thing ever since. I got ribs the last time I was there. Woo! Man, they were good. Don't forget about the catfish either. It's cooked to order, so it's hot and fresh every single time. The best catfish in the River Valley. Jerry Neal's Barbecue, Catfish, and Catering, 1823 Phoenix Avenue in Fort Smith.
Your adventures await you at Adventure, Oklahoma at Auto Finders Highway 64 in Roland. Introducing Segway UTVs. Fear no plates with high-tech power sports from Segway. See the lineup of CF Moto and Arctic Cat 2 at Adventure, Oklahoma at Auto Finders. You say you want something a little wetter? Well, think summer on a G3 boat or Suncatcher pontoon boat. Financing available all ATVs and boats. Get your summer adventure started today at Adventure, Oklahoma at Auto Finders Highway 64 Roland. See autofindersok.com.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Except we've got SEC bias. Deal with it. They're the best.
In the SEC, it just means more.
I know one thing. The SEC has got a little tougher.
This is your SEC update on the Morning Rush. Brought to you by Burton Pools and Spas. Trusted pool experts and your source for backyard fun. Locations in Fort Smith, Springdale, and always online at burtonpools.com.
So several coaches touched on some important topics yesterday, and one of the things that we've discussed this week, as we're live at Radio Row at SEC Media Days, is the diminished aspect of the SEC championship. Now, Kirby Smart still think there's value there.
I still find value in winning an SEC championship. Do I worry about attrition in terms of having more games? I worry about attrition having 4 teams. I don't want to see the conference championship go away because I think it's one of the greatest venues in all of college sports. There's going to be teams that look back on that SEC championship and it's very meaningful, and I don't want to take away from that meaning.
Tommy, it does help it's in Atlanta, about 45 minutes from Athens. But Clay, our friend Brett Norsworthy stats brought this up earlier. I didn't know about this. There's a possibility that Georgia will play in the Mercedes-Benz Stadium 4 times this year. They'll play in the first game, maybe the SEC championship, and then they could play in the Peach Bowl and the national championship. So, like the attrition he was talking about, you could play a team 3 times, and of course up to 17 games, I guess, for the champion. I say up to, it will be 17, but he still finds value in the SEC championship, it sounds like.
Yeah, I can remember playing Georgia in the SEC championship game.
Ooh, 0-2.
And it was intimidating, the noise level of what that, the Georgia people filled up that stadium. So that would be a huge advantage for the Bulldogs. And they've got the best roster in college football right now. And you can talk about the players they lost or who they got back or whatever, but the perfect illustration for that is they've got 5 stars transferring out of there, like Xavier Sorey, who's immediately the best defensive player on the Arkansas roster, and he couldn't get on the field. I mean, he didn't leave because he was a malcontent. He was third team, and it's like there wasn't any sign for him, and he immediately shows up at Arkansas, and you say, oh, that's what a 5-star looks like. I mean, it's the same thing like Drew Sanders. If you're that good and you can't get on the field at Georgia, that tells you what their roster is.
It is loaded. And like you said, that it will be the best roster. I'm curious if it's Texas, Ole Miss, or maybe another program that's directly behind them or behind them in some capacity. We also got a chance to hear, you don't have Georgia on the schedule this year, thank goodness. You do have Tennessee, though. That's going to be an interesting game right before the bye. Tennessee has a bye of the week before. Josh Heupel got asked, hey, what's it going to be like to play Arkansas this year? Gave a little short answer.
Always a great venue. Fan base is extremely passionate. Early conference game on the road. Know that that'll be a big test when we get to that Saturday.
It is going to be a big test. Now, that will not be Nico Ilmueva's first conference road game. He will play in Norman, Oklahoma. I think it's either a week before, it's 2 weeks prior, I believe. But Klay, that is, again, you're playing a young quarterback. Hasn't really been through the SEC rigors just yet. And the bummer is you get Tennessee coming off a bye, which definitely will help the Volunteers in that situation.
Yeah, so what we're sitting here now, and we're in the middle of July, and we're talking about matchups, that are 3, 4, 5 games into the season. You don't know what your quarterback situation is going to be, and that's the beauty of the SEC is that you're trying to make plays with a running quarterback, and he's going to get tackled. And I'm reminded, when in reading Jimmy Johnson's book Swagger, who if you haven't read it, it is fascinating. And he talked about what he used to think were the most important positions, on your roster. And he's talking about NFL, but it applies in college because we're in a pro situation now, so you can go replace players immediately in the portal. Your backup quarterback just becomes incredibly important. We don't know who the backup quarterback at Arkansas is. Bobby Petrino may know, but he didn't tell us. It's a good point. Or whether it's Malachi Singleton or KJ Jackson. I think that's the two that are like.
You got no
two, and
I'm not sure who else would.
Jacoby Criswell
would be fourth. Since
Criswell's gone.
Yeah, he's gone. So
yeah,
I'm not sure. Are you even truly four deep at quarterback?
But my point is, when you're talking about quarterback matchups that deep in the season, you don't know if that's really the way it's going to be, and that's the impact of. The 8 SEC games. In the future will be 9 SEC games. Your quarterback situation will change as the season goes forward because they're going to get hit. Whether Taylor Green he's a runner, and so are some of these others. That's what you want, and they're going to get tackled, and they're going to try to make plays with their feet, and that's the beauty of what this league is about.
But you say he's a runner, but you watched all the scrimmages. Let's go a little deeper on that because KJ Jefferson was a runner, but we're talking about a whole different thing when we talk about those two.
He's gonna take off and he's gonna try to get out of bounds. I mean, he's a 4.4. He's a long, slender guy, whereas KJ was long, but he was 250, 260. Mm-hmm. That's not what this guy is. He's 225, 230. But it's not going to be to run over people. But if you play man-to-man and all your receivers are going down and running verticals and the middle of the field opens up, he's going to take off. That's what Bobby Petrino's offenses are he's done that through the years, that's the same thing that happens all across the SEC. If you don't have a dual threat, you're leaving something in the tank.
And if your offensive line could shift, move the pocket, protect the quarterback long enough, even if it breaks down, that's when we saw, and I'm not comparing him to Manziel, but a guy like Manziel. When the play breaks down and he got loose, that's when you could have your biggest chunk plays and explosive plays. And I don't know if Green can do that. We will see. But sometimes when it all
he did it at Boise State. Yeah.
Sometimes when it all goes to heck in a handbasket, that's when you can move the chains when you're behind them.
100% right. All right, that is your SEC update. Again, we're live. SEC Media Days, Radio Row, and it's brought to you by our friends at Burton Pools and Spas.
Yeah, right now is a great time to get to Burton Pools and Spas. They've got a high-quality above-ground pool for you right now. You can swim in this summer. Payments starting at $57 a month. They got $1,000 off in-stock Doughboy above-ground pools. And if you're thinking about in-ground pools. They've got special deals on fiberglass models right now. You can see them in the Fort Smith, Springdale, or Greenland locations starting at under $48,000. Special deals on hot tubs this summer with savings up to $7,300. So don't miss the savings during the hot deals at Burton Pools and Spa's summer clearance event. I mentioned Greenland. It's their newest showroom. They just opened just off the Greenland exit. Fort Smith and Springdale, they've been doing it for more than 46 years. And find them online at burtonpools.com.
All right, Tommy, you brought up earlier, you're going to have to help me with Colin's last name, the guy that doesn't think Tigers should participate.
Colin Montgomery.
Colin Montgomery. Clay, we hadn't talked to you about this yet. They're at Royal Troon. Is it Troon?
Troon.
Royal Troon tomorrow. The Open. Tigers talked glowingly about the Open Championship over the years, thinks it's the best in golf. Montgomery, though, not so glowing about Tiger. And this was Tiger's response to basically telling Colin, saying that he should hang it up.
Comments, last week from Colin Montgomery, who said, why is he here? He should retire. There's no point to this. Do you feel that's a bit hurtful and you've earned the right to you make the decision when you decide?
Well, as a past champion, I'm exempt till I'm 60. Colin's not. He's not a past champion, so he's not exempt. So he doesn't get the opportunity to make that decision. I do.
Thank you, Big T and Colton, for cutting that on the fly. But, awesome. I mean, that's just like, you have to be, as an analyst, like there are certain analysts, like if Michael Jordan wants to say something about basketball, whether it's right or wrong, you'll always listen to him. But when you have certain guys that talk about either the greatest or some of the greatest athletes of all time, and they act like that their definitive statement is just factual. And
let me put this in. Let me help you here. Let me put this into terms you would understand. Since you don't know Colin Montgomery, if he was here, he would be a Texas fan.
Oh,
Colin, would you agree with that, Clay? Colin Montgomery's he would be a Texas fan.
Yeah, he's a little arrogant, and I'll go back to when Tiger was breaking in. I guess when he won his first Masters, and they were paired, I believe, in the third round, or going to be prepared. And Colin Montgomery brought into the press room, and he's like, I'm not sure that that I'm impressed with him. I don't know what all this fuss is about. Tiger beat him by 9 the next day, head to head. He shot 64, and I think or 65, and Colin shot 9 strokes back from that. I think he ended up beating him by like 14 in the tournament. So he should have learned, just shut up. Don't talk about Tiger. He's you can argue whether, he or Jack Nicklaus, but, arguably one of the best two to ever play the game. And I would guess that, the Brits are tickled to death that Tiger is there. The galleries will be huge, and maybe Tiger can't win it anymore, but dadgum, he's Tiger Woods, and let him do what he wants to do.
Yeah, just like they're tickled John Daly's there. There's 3 Razorbacks there.
Exactly.
John Daly draws a crowd still to this day. He's not going to win the Open Championship. He probably won't make the cut, but he still brings value to the event, and Tiger will do that for many years to come.
Clay, how about that? Ollison, Moore, and JD. You got 3 Razorbacks representation across the pond.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. And this is, I'm not sure that this is, the Open Championship, the greatest tournament, in the world. I'm not, but it is unique, and it's a cool. Every one of these courses are, they're a century old, and they've got their little quirks about it, and it's different golf. It's links golf, and the weather will determine the champion. There'll be a window for somebody that gets better weather than everybody else. Yep. And it's not fair, but it's the British Open.
It's been a Watch Your Beef Wednesday here from Radio Row. All of our Watch Your Beef Wednesdays are brought to you by Richard's Country Meat Market. For the best meat in town, visit Richard's Country Meat Market. Find them online at richardscountrymeatmarket.com. Coverage of radio from Radio Row, presented by the Stadium Shop on Razorback in Fayetteville, by WT Equipment. Find them online at WTEquip.com, and by the Limbird Real Estate Group. Find them at LimbirdTeam.com.
All right, Mr. Clay, it's good to have you back, big dog. We'll do it again a week from today.
Yep, got 2 hours this afternoon with Phil and Matt. Look forward to that. I missed you guys.
I know.
Thought about y'all
Glad you're back.
when I was traveling around Colorado and Wyoming, and wondered what was going on back here. I'm glad y'all are down there representing us at Media Days in Dallas.
Well, doing our best to. All right, that's going to do it for us here on a What's Your Beef Wednesday. Coach Pitman and the guys with us tomorrow across